Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see in the picture today, let's start the story of where Issei met Ouroboros early and became the Ouroboros Dragon Emperor. Issei met Ouroboros when he was little, and he saved her from a lonely fate full of enemies. After getting attacked by Shalba, he was saved by Ophis and got healed by her power. Ophis, not wanting to lose him, decided to make him stronger. But before we start, please consider subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. Don't forget to check the description for more informations. Now, let's get into the story. Prologue. A 7-year-old boy walked around the park, his parents close behind him. The boy, named Issei, ran around chasing after a squirrel until he came across a little girl. She was a cute little girl with long straight black hair down to her hips. Her dark gray eyes looked dull and lifeless. She was dressed in a black Lolita dress with a purple ribbon on her back. The most stunning thing about her was her ears. Unlike normal ears, hers had pointed tips like L's. He walked closer and tried to talk to her. Are you here by yourself? The girl remained unmoving, looking at the pond. Issei got in front of her and tried it again. Hello? I'm talking to you. Are you here with your parents or with your friends? The girl looked him in the eyes before slowly opening her mouth. I don't have parents or friends, she answered in a monotonous voice before turning her head away again. What? That's terrible. Aren't you lonely? Issei asked, getting even closer. No, I was alone from the beginning. I don't know what loneliness is. You were alone from the beginning. That's just hey, why don't we become friends? The boy said, smiling brightly. The black had only tilted her head in confusion. Let's play. Issei took the hand of the girl and walked off with her. She looked at the boy thinking he was a weird human. He was 7 years old and had short brown hair. His eyes were a light brown with a gentle and innocent look in them. This boy is strange. I feel something in him. Something similar to me. So what do you want to play? I don't know your name. I'm Ophis. The girl, now known as Ophis, answered short and still monotonous. Ophis-chan, I'm Issei. All she did in return was giving a small nod. Let's play tag. The boy poked Ophis in the side and started to run. Come on, try to catch me, he shouted, looking back only to see her nowhere. Thud. Issei landed on his butt because he bumped into someone. Oh, Ophis-chan. He was surprised to see his new friend in front of him, showing him a victory sign, although her expression didn't change. I have caught you. How did you? Awesome. Can you show me how you did that? Issei had sparkles in his eyes and grasped her hands. I just walked. That's so cool. Can you teach me to walk so fast? I don't mind. The couple of kids trained, only Issei, for a few hours. The parents of the boy came back to get their son. Since Issei found someone to play with, his parents decided to go to a nearby cafe. Issei, it's time to go home. You can come back tomorrow. The boy remembered something his friend told him and walked over to the girl. Ophis-chan, you said you were all alone, right? Yes. Then how about you live with us? The girl didn't know how to answer. She never expected that there was a human who would want her to be around. You don't want to? The boy looked at her with puppy eyes. Ophis didn't understand emotions, but she didn't like seeing Issei like that. I don't mind. Issei smiled and immediately took her hand, walking hand in hand to his parents. It took him 50 minutes to convince them to let Ophis stay with them, but they agreed anyway. Issei, dinner will be ready in half an hour. Tell Ophis-chan to take a bath before you. His mother told him this from the kitchen. Ophis-chan, Mom said you should take a bath first. Issei walked up to the girl who sat on his bed in a siza position. All the girl did was tilting her head. What's wrong? Come, I will show you where the bathroom is. The boy grabbed the girl by her arm and guided her through the house. So, here we are. Mom will bring you a towel later so you can go in. He turned around to leave but was unable to move. He looked back to see the black-haired girl holding his shirt with her left hand. Ophis-chan. Issei was worried about her odd behavior. Issei, what is a bath? The two of them stood there silently staring at each other. A bath is something you do to clean yourself. The girl looked at him and tilted her head. I don't know how. Can you teach me, Issei? The boy, with a bright red face, ran to his mother with Ophis close behind him. You, Mom? The boy was embarrassed and had a crimson red face. What's wrong, Issei? I thought Ophis-chan was already in the bath. Hey, about that. Oh, Ophis-chan said she doesn't know what to do. His face got even redder, if that was even possible, and his mother looked a little shocked and unsure what to do. Sigh, I guess it can't be helped. Issei, just go in with her, but don't make a mess in there. She turned around to give him a few towels and walked away to resume cooking. Yeah, Issei shouted, quickly turning around to see his mother walking away. Mom is serious about that. Issei will take a bath with me? Ophis asked him without changing her expression. There is no way that you would do something that embracing, right? Issei asked her, getting a bad feeling. Embracing? I don't quite understand. Let's take a bath together. Ophis said, dragging Issei with her. Why is she so strong? She's dragging me behind her with a single hand. Issei shouted in his mind, unable to break free. 30 minutes passed and Issei and Ophis came out of the bathroom. Ophis looked refreshed and even had a slight smile on her face. Issei, on the other hand, looked like he barely made it out alive. They both walked into the living room in pajamas, sitting down on a table. What's wrong, Issei? You look awfully exhausted. His father asked him, fixing his glasses. It's nothing, the brown-haired boy said, looking at his plate. Is that so? Mr. Hayato's sweat dropped at the half-hearted answer of his son. Ophis-chan, do you like it here with us? The girl nodded while stuffing her face with food. The rest of the dinner was spent in silence, with Issei's parents smiling at the children, Issei slowly getting his energy back and Ophis eating enough for 4 people. The couple of children was now in Issei's room, Issei in his own bed, and Ophis in a futon placed besides the bed. Let's play again tomorrow, Ophis-chan. The boy stared at the ceiling. The girl nodded with a smile on her face. It was a shame that Issei couldn't see it. Next day, Issei woke up from the chirping of the birds, rolling to his left side. He hugged his dakimakura tightly, and decided to sleep a bit longer. Wait, he didn't have a dakimakura. He opened his eyes to see Ophis in front of him, looking at him. Issei quickly jumped out of the bed, or at least tried it. The girl grabbed his wrist and once again pulled him in a tight embrace. I like being like this. Ophis said it with her eyes closed, rubbing her cheek against Issei's hair. Am I imagining things, or is Ophis-chan getting more and more clingy? Well, it's a good thing if she's happy, but her expression is the same as ever. Issei thought to himself and closed his eyes. Another 20 minutes passed with the two of them hugging each other. Issei, Ophis-chan, breakfast is ready. Mrs. Hato called the 2 children from below, slowly walking up the stairs. She opened the door and spotted the couple on the bed of her son. Oh my, looks like you 2 really like each other. To become this close to each other in only one day. She walked up to them and lightly shook Issei's shoulder. Wash your face and come down, you too, Ophis-chan. The mother left and made her way down. Let's go. Issei wanted to stand up but was pulled down again by Ophis. Oh, Ophis-chan, if we don't go up, we won't get anything to eat. The girl shot up after hearing the word eat and run to the bathroom. Issei, we need to wash our faces. She took the doorknob in one hand and the hand of the boy in the other. Her eyes have sparkles in them. Just how much does she like food? Good morning, Issei, Ophis-chan. Did you sleep well? Mr. Haida asked the couple once they entered the living room. Yeah, I slept like a stone. The boy answered, but the black head tilted her head. I don't need to sleep. All 3 hiatus looked shocked about the statement, and the mother of the house crouched down to look the girl in the eyes. That's bad. You should properly sleep. Mrs. Haida tried to lecture her, but it didn't went well. I don't need to rest. The woman was troubled about the stubbornness of Ophis but didn't want to give up. No. You mustn't be awake all time. If you don't rest like a good girl, then you're not allowed to hug Issei in his sleep. The brown-haired woman said this, resulting in a bright red face from her son, a frown from the blackhead, and her husband raising his eyebrow. Should I ask about the last part? Well, I don't see any harm by her cuddling with Issei. Ophis was deep in thoughts, thinking about the reason why she didn't like the idea of being banned from hunting him. That would be a problem. She'll sleep. The girl. Issei's mother patted the girl on the head. Now let's eat. I did akamasu. All of them began eating at the same time. Park. And Pant W, why are you looking like nothing happened when we ran around for hours straight, Ophis-chan? Issei asked her, trying to catch his breath. I have infinite power. This is nothing. The girl stated it like it was nothing. Issei wanted to retort, but someone interrupted him. And we would like to have this infinite power. A handsome man dressed in black armor with a cape walked up to them. He had long brown hair that goes to his hips with many bangs covering his right eye. Devil was the only word Ophis gave him as an answer. Yes, that's right. But I'm no ordinary devil. I am the descendant of the great Mobilzebub. My name is Shalba Beelzebub. The man exclaimed it while spreading his arms to his sides. Issei walked in front of Ophis and shouted, Who are you? And what do you want from Ophis-chan? Shalba looked down like he only now registered his existence. Don't talk to me, you fly the human. Shalba waved his left hand and Issei's abdomen was pierced by a beam of light. The boy coughed blood up and collapsed onto the ground. Issei. Ophis tried to run up to her friend but was stopped by the devil who stepped in front of the boy. Now that the nuisance is out of the way, let's go. The man grabbed the wrist of the girl and a strange glowing circle appeared under them. Issei. The black head broke free and made her way to the boy. Issei, Issei, Issei. She shook him, but the blood flowed out of the wound like a waterfall. How annoying, I guess I should just pulverize him. Ophis turned her head around and glared at him. The devil took a few steps back, even he wouldn't want to fight against someone like the infinite dragon god. Oh, Ophis-chan, he is here for you, get away from here. The boy had lifeless eyes, and his body got colder by the second, but he's still worried about the black head. Boy, why are you so worried about that thing? The man looked at the almost corpse of the boy. Did you just call Ophis-chan a thing? He had no energy, but managed to glare at Shalba. Of course, because that's what it is. The Ouroboros dragon god, it's ageless and genderless, but if you look at it from another point of view, then it's nothing more than a giant mass of energy. So, how is it not a thing? Ophis got nervous, even gods feared her. So it wouldn't be strange for Issei to be afraid of her. But even she didn't expect that kind of response. I don't understand complicated stuff. But there are two things I know. First, Ophis-chan is Ophis-chan. No matter what. And Issei's heart was beating faster and faster. How can my heart beat this fast when I don't even have the strength to breathe properly? In a moment like this, it's the boy's job to protect the girl, like the hero in Drag Soap Ball. His hand shone in a burnt green light and was covered in a red metal glove. Boost. The glove shouted a command and Issei had the strength to stand again though he was shaky on his legs. I was surprised for a moment, but it's just a twice critical. How disappointing. Shalba kicked the boy into the hole in his stomach which resulted in him crashing into a tree. Issei. The girl ran up to her friend and tried to heal him. Just come with me already. Shalba grabbed Ophis by her collar. The hole in Issei's abdomen was still present, but only half the size as before. And the second is that I can't let someone like you take off his charm with him. He shouted and charged at the devil. Dragon Booster. The glove shouted again, changing into a gauntlet that covers his whole left forearm. What? Shalba was surprised and let go of the dragon god. It wasn't a twice critical, but one of the 13 Longinus. Issei was now in front of him and struck him into the stomach. Humph, don't think that this even tickled. He once again tried to kick him, but Issei managed to dodge. Boost. Even if you power up like this, someone like you will never stand a chance against me, a true male. The man was too distracted by Issei, so he didn't notice the ball of pitch black energy coming his way. Arc. His arm was engulfed by the energy and disappeared. I shall erase you. Even Issei was scared of Ophis with the cold stare she gave the devil. It can't be helped. I will retreat for now. A magic circle appeared beneath him, and he disappeared a second before another ball could hit him. The Ouroboros dragon made her way to the boy, put her hands over the wound and started healing him. Ophis-chan, you're incredible. To beat him so easily. Issei made a weak smile and put his hand still in the gauntlet on her head. He started to pat her until he was finally completely healed. Reset. A new sound came from his left arm and he lost all strength. Collapsing into Ophis' arms, she lifted him up and walked away, carrying him like a princess. At home, the two children were sitting on Issei's bed. The boy rested his head on the lap of the girl, getting patted. Ophis-chan, do you mind explaining about what happened there? Issei asked her with closed eyes. He was a devil. You may know them from the Bible. And the thing on your arm is a sacred gear, a power given to humans by heaven. She explained it short and without details, but Issei understood it, more or less. He said something about a lonja whatever? Longinus, a sacred gear that can kill gods en masse. And I have something that great. The brown head looked at the gauntlet with wide eyes. Boosted gear, it's a sacred gear that has a dragon sealed within. A dragon? Issei had sparkles in his eyes. Wait, didn't that Shalba called you a dragon too? That's right, Ouroboros dragon, that's me, one of the two strongest existence. She once again showed him the victory sign, at which Issei made a wry smile and scratched his cheek. And the dragon in you is the Welsh dragon Dreg. He is one of the two heavenly dragons. So, Ophis-chan, you said you were one of the two strongest. Then can you please train me? The girl was unsure what to do. It's not like she ever trained someone, so she doesn't know what to do. I can't train you. Issei looked dejected after hearing that, but I can bring you to people that can. Oh really? He shot up from her lap and hugged her after she nodded. Thanks, Ophis-chan. It's okay, now let's sleep. You need to rest. Training will start tomorrow, maybe. Okay, good night. He closed his eyes and snuggled into the bed, again being the Dakimakura of the dragon god. Wait, did she say maybe? Next day. Issei woke up early this day, but the most surprising thing was that he had enough strength to free himself from Ophis' death grip. He finished his breakfast fast and took the portion of the girl into his room. He needed to go up and down 5 times. Ophis-chan, please wake up. Your food will get cold. She was almost like Snow White, for someone who doesn't need sleep, but instead of waking up by a kiss, she jumped up from the smell of food and grabbed the first plate. So, you said you would introduce me to someone who would train me. Is that someone also a dragon? The dragon answered, still stuffing food in her mouth. No, you will train with gods and devils. Issei flinched at the mention of devils, but Ophis patted his head. They won't harm you, I promise. I shall protect you. The boy blushed at the rare smile from her and mumbled. Tea, thank you? IsseixOphisxTiamatxHarem. A tall, black-haired woman sat on a veranda drinking tea. Sigh, it's pretty lonely here when nobody visits me. The woman was dressed in a white and red kimono with a golden obi. She had a silver tiara on her head with a deep blue emerald in it. She was the head goddess of the Shinto religion, Amaterasu, but because of that nobody dared to approach her. It got even worse when she once showed herself in, which resulted in the sun hiding itself. The goddess sighed once again before dropping her tea. What is this pressure? The woman had problems to breathe and saw a girl a few feet from her. Who is that? I can't see her clearly. From behind the girl walked a boy up to her and helped her to sit right again. Woni-chan, are you okay? Does it hurt anywhere? The boy asked her in a worried tone, looking at her with sad eyes. Who is this boy? Why is he unaffected by this enormous power? The girl walked up to the woman and the pressure vanished at once. Shinto-san. Who are you? Amaterasu asked, trying to catch her breath. The Ouroboros dragon once again had her habit to avoid speaking too much. The Ouroboros DD dragon. Why are you here? Amaterasu tried to back away, taking Issei with her subconsciously. First, Ophis said it, pointing at the breasts of the Shinto god. Don't suffocate, Issei, said goddess, looked down to see her pressing the head of the boy into her chest. Sorry. She let go of Issei, who had a bright red face. How innocent. Cute. The Ophis eyebrow twitched in annoyance. Second, I want you to train him. The goddess turned her head from Ophis to the boy and concentrated. Now that I look more clearly, his body is not purely human, but why? If he had a sacred gear, it would explain his soul, but not his body. She once again faced the dragon god. Who is this boy? Amaterasu asked her, patting the head of the boy. Sakuriute. The goddess gasped at it, and Issei tilted his head. Wani-chan, what's wrong? Issei gripped the sleeve of the kimono and looked at her with puppy eyes. So cute. Amaterasu blushed slightly and pulled him into a hug. Don't worry, Ouroboros, I will take good care of him. Ophis pulled Issei out of her bear hug and hugged him herself. Good, I shall bring him to you another day. The Shinto sun pouted at the possessiveness of the dragon but let it go. She was still afraid of her strength. Bye-bye, Wani-chan. Issei waved at her with a smile. Bye-bye. She happily waved back. Issei would later regret calling one of the Shinto trinity Wani-chan. Underworld. Another black-haired woman sat in her room watching Amahu shoujo anime. She is dressed in magical girl's clothing in pink and black with a magic wand in her hand and a hat on top of her head. Her twin tails swayed up and down because of her being so excited. Leviathan. A monotonous voice called out to her, startling the woman. Whoa, where did you come from? The girl tilted her head. Takamagawara. No, that's not what I meant. Wait, Takamagawara, I have a favor to ask of you. Ophis ignored what the woman said and resumed. Please, help training Issei, she said and put the boy in front of her. Whoa, Amahu shoujo, Issei said in awe, resulting in sparkles in Seraphil's eyes. That's right. I, Seraphil Leviathan, am the man who's shoujo of the underworld, Miracle Leviathan. Leviathan stuck her tongue out and winked at him. So, about my favor. The dragon didn't like the fact that she was ignored. Ah, sorry. You want me to train this boy? Why? Ophis looked down to his side and pulled him a bit closer. Beelzebub could come for revenge. Akuja-chan. Serapho was surprised to hear the title of her friend, but the girl shook her head. No, not him. What do you? The devil took a moment before she realized what she meant. Okay, I will help, but I can only do basic training and teach him ice magic. That's good enough. Everything is okay then. Serapho once again winked at Issei. Can I leave Issei in your care for a while? Ophis asked the Mao. I don't mind, but what are you going to do? I will ask a few Greek gods for help. I understand. They can be really annoying. The devil made a wry laugh and took out a DVD. Issei-kun, was it? Let's watch this together until she gets back. It was a DVD from the anime Magical Girl Milky Spiral 7. Issei nodded, waving at the dragon. Bye-bye, Ophis-chan. The girl gave him a small smile. I will be back right away, Issei. The girl vanished in a cloud of black energy. Wait, Ophis. Like the Ouroboros dragon god. Issei was startled by the sudden outburst. Why, yeah, that's what she said. Seraphil shuddered by the thought of enraging her. I need to be careful around her. Oh, Issei-kun has sparkles in his eyes. How cute. Is this maybe a chance for me to make him a Mahashoujo fan? I will have a friend with the same hobby. She got pumped up and walked behind Issei, lifting him up and putting him down on her lap again. Leviathan-san. The boy was puzzled about the action. Don't worry, it's more comfortable this way, right? She said, resting her chin on his head. And just call me Sarah or Olivia Tan. Issei was unsure about calling an adult Tan. But let it go. Then, Sarah-san? Sarah pouted like a small child. Drop the honorifics. They watched the anime for 3 hours straight before Ophis came and took Issei back home. Chapter 1. The New Boy Ikkyo. Issei was in his, and Ophis, room looking into a mirror. He is wearing a black blazer over a white long-sleeve dress shirt with black highlights and a black ribbon on the collar, matching black pants and brown dress shoes. It was the typical boy's uniform for Ko Academy, the school Issei will attend from now on. I can't say why, but it doesn't sit well with me. He grumbled in his thoughts and grabbed a red t-shirt, putting the white dress shirt and the blazer over it, leaving it unbuttoned. Yeah, that's better. He took his bag and walked down to meet up with Ophis. She was already eating, getting a second, fifth serving. The boy took the seat next to her. Good morning, Mom, Ophis-chan. His father was away working, so it were only the three of them. His mother smiled at him, but his friend turned her head away. Is she in a bad mood? Well, she was against me going to school, so I guess it can't be helped. The dragon got really possessive and overprotective after the incident with Shalba. There are only a few people who are allowed to be alone with Issei. First would be Amaterasu, the Shinto goddess of the sun. She had a motherly aura whenever he was around, but was also very clingy and spoiled. The second one would be Seraphil Leviathan, one of the four great Maoyu and a Mahou Shoujo fan. They would often watch anime after the training with Seraphil, now because Issei is taller, sitting on his lap. Other exceptions would be the Greek goddesses Athena and Styx. Athena was his tutor and Ophis liked Styx because of her silent nature. By the way, Zeus is forbidden from seeing Issei because he once tried training him by throwing lightning at him. The only others were Circe's Lucifer and his wife Graphia, Ajuka Beelzebub, and the Shinto goddess of the moon, Tsukuyumi. Issei finished his breakfast before he noticed. Okay, I will go now. I will see you after school, Ophis-chan. He patted her head, making her close her eyes and smiling. She's really like a small animal. As long as she doesn't go into older sister mode. NNNNNHNH. Bye, Ice. It wasn't hostile, but he still had a bad feeling about it. Surzek-sama and Sarah Santi said that their little sisters are in this school, but they didn't tell them about me, so it should be alright. Issei was now in front of his classroom, waiting for his teacher to call him. Hey, I know this is a bit sudden, but we will have 2 new classmates. Come in. Issei opened the door and stepped in. Wait. 2, pleased to meet you. My name is Heida Issei, he said and gave a polite bow. Pleased to meet you, my name is Amano Yuma. He looked to his left side to see the fallen angel he felt before. She was a young, attractive woman around the same age as Issei with long black hair down to her hips and violet eyes. She wore the typical uniform for girls, which consists of a white long-sleeve button-down shirt with a black ribbon on her shirt collar, worn under a black shoulder cape and a matching button-down corset, a magenta skirt with white accents, and brown dress shoes over white crew-length socks. Wow, she looks like a model. Man, she's hot. The boys happily welcomed the new girl in their class. The girls squealed when they saw Issei. He's a new prince. Look at his eyes, they are so innocent. He's like a little child. Prince. Issei's sweat dropped at the comments, and took his seat. He was sitting between a bald boy and a boy with glasses. Hey, hi, Dukun. What is your favorite part of a woman? Glasses asked him with a perverted grin on his face. Ice tilted his head. My favorite part. What do you mean? The perverted duo wanted to answer him, but the girls dragged them up and started to beat them up. Don't infect Hyde Dukun with your pervert disease. He thought that he shouldn't get involved with them and concentrated on the lessons. He remembered the training he did with the Madrasu. She taught him fire manipulation and how to use her black flames. He can even recover energy in the sunlight, although only very slowly. She was almost as overprotective as Ophis, but she was way more spoiled. Issei is now 17, and she still insists that he calls her Weni-chan or at least Domini-chan. He shaped his head and turned his attention back to the blackboard. After school, the boy walked out of his classroom until he heard his name. Hidia-kun. The female transfer student walked over to him waving her hand. Amano-san, right? Can I help you somehow? Said girl stopped in front of him blushing and playing with her fingers. Hey, are you seeing someone at the moment? Amano blushed even more. Seeing someone? Ice was confused by the question since he mostly trained or learned and never had a relationship with a girl. No, I don't. Amano's face lighted up immediately, and she grabbed his hand. Is that so? Thank goodness. Sorry. She let go of the hands. If that's so, would you please go out with me? Bowing down, she asked him. Yay? I don't mind. Issei was still unsure what to do. Really? Great, then can we meet this Sunday at the station? They exchanged phone number via infrared and Yuma ran away as soon as they did that. She's a strange one. Issei's room. The Office was playing a video game, eating snacks every now and then. The Haida residence was a large, 6-story house with 3 large basements. Surgix Lucifer made the reconstruction, saying that it will be necessary in the future. Issei walked into a room on the 2nd floor, spotting a girl sitting on his bed. Ophis-chan, I know you like it in here, but your room is exactly the same. He put his school bag down and laid down next to the girl. Ice, play with me? Ophis handed him a controller. Yeah, but don't forget that sticks and will come later. The goddess liked to say, because he is not afraid of her. He even hugged her in his sleep, which resulted in Ophis not letting him go for 5 hours. Don't worry, I won't forget it. She pouted and sat down on his lap as soon as he rose up. The Cult Research Club. But yo, is something wrong? A girl with a buxom figure around 1 year older than Issei with very long black hair and violet eyes asked. Her hair is tied in a long ponytail reaching all the way down to her legs with 2 strands sticking out from the top and sloping backwards with an orange ribbon keeping it in place. Ah, Kino. No, I was just lost in thoughts. A beautiful young woman who appears to be in her late teens with white skin, blue eyes and a buxom figure answered. Her most distinctive feature is her long, beautiful crimson hair that reaches down to her thighs with a single hair strand sticking out from the top. Her hair also has loose bangs covering her forehead, and side bangs framing her face. The boy who transferred into the 2nd year today, do you know something about him? Okino served the redid a cup of tea, tilting her head at the question. Era Riaz, are you this interested in our Kohai? All I know is his name. Haiba Ase-kun. Riaz put a chess piece on the board that was on the table. Who knows? Checkmate, I will take a shower. She walked off to the shower inside the club room, starting to undress on the way. And here I thought I made the problem more difficult this time. Akyamajihara, 10 years ago. Issei was watching one of his 2 teachers, Tsukuyami, drawing a complex structure made out of 6 magic circles connected into a hexagon form onto the ground. The structure glowed in a light blue and silver shine once the goddess stood in the middle of the completed magic formula. Issei-kun, watch closely. This is one of my strongest barriers, 6-fold moon prison. In about 6 or 7 years you will be able to use this. I want you to read the flow of the energy. She said it, and light pillars showed up from the ground. The gate between the pillars was closed up by a wall of 2 layers of energy. The walls looked like they were made out of crystals shining in blue, silver and purple. And Issei-kun, what do you say? She turned around to see the boy looking at her with wide eyes. Beautiful. You're sparkling and shining. Tsukuyami blushed at the comment from the little boy, but tried to cover it up. So, what do you say? The boy tilted his head. It looks really strong, but doesn't it take too long to prepare it? The goddess was surprised at the sound argument of her pupil. He's a lot smarter than I thought. The barrier dissolved, and his tutor walked out of it to pat his head. That's right, Issei-kun. It's used to defend something, but you need to set it up first. You normally use it to guard a shrine or fortress. Issei closed his eyes, thinking and enjoying the patting. Tsukuyami-sama, do you use it to defend your shrine? Yeah, that's right. But I'm using an even more complex version since humans and other beings with my permission need to be able to get into the shrine's ground. Wow, Tsukuyami-sama is awesome. The goddess again blushed at the sudden praise and was glad he couldn't see her face. But I'm still better. Tsukuyami's face hardened as soon as she heard the voice. Wani-sama, what business do you have with me? Amaterasu walked over to them, her smile never leaving her face. Don't be like that, I just came to get ice. So, Ice, come here. Amaterasu crouched down, lured the boy to her. The goddess of the moon grabbed him from behind and pulled him closer. Issei-kun is training with me for the whole day, Wani-sama. Tsukuyami, you shouldn't squeeze him so tight, your bones will hurt him. Said woman had a bright red face. I'm not that flat. The black-haired woman had a triumphant smile on her face. The goddess of the moon had long silver hair, crystal clear gray eyes, and pale white skin. She was dressed in a blue and black kakata with a red obi. When Amaterasu is a curvy woman, then Tsukuyami is a tall, little girl. Ice. You want to come with Wani-chan, right? He remembered the incident last week where he said that he likes Ophis more than her. The goddess hid herself in her room. Tsukuyami-sama, I think I should go with her before I end up as a hugging pillow again. Oh, okay, even I would be afraid of that. What are you two whispering about? Ice, let's go. The black head grabbed the hand of the boy and walked off to her veranda. Hey, why don't you ask Ouroboros to let you stay overnight? She asked him, handing him a cup of tea. So I'm still going to end up as her Dakimakura. She's a lot like Ophis-chan in that way. Present, the girl in a pitch black one-piece opera in front of a room. She had long black hair down to her hips and amber-colored eyes. Ice, I'm here to play. The girl walked in and jumped into Issei's arms. Sticks-san, you're in an awfully good mood today. The boy started to pat her, and she pushed Ophis from his lap to sit down there. The dragon didn't like the fact that her favorite place was taken from her. River God, that's my place. The goddess simply ignored her. Ice, what do you want to play? Video games or a board game? She was swaying her legs with a smile on her face. Ophis' body was engulfed in pitch-black energy, startling Issei. And no, she entered older sister mode. Out of the energy came a fully grown Ophis with a figure like one of the 3-1-E Samas of Koi Academy, Himajima Ikano, Ice. She reached out to him and pressed the back of his head into her bosom. She's a lot like Amaterasu-sama in this form. I sometimes wonder if they're sisters. Wait, that's besides the point. The dragon patted his head and glared at Styx. Both of them stared at each other, Styx still on his lap. I can almost see the sparks. Ah, that's his table glowed in a crimson light. Oh, Ophis, the table, the table. They stopped their catfight and looked over to the light. Lucifer, what could he want? The light faded and the image of a man with crimson hair stood on top of the table. You're as popular as ever, Hayes-kun? The man gave him an amused smile. Surzek-sama, is something wrong? It's rare for you to suddenly call us. The man looked to the side, avoiding eye contact. Well, I wanted to ask whenever you already met my little sister or not. No, but I heard about her in school. She is one of the 3-1-E Samas and the president of the Occult Research Club. As expected of my little sister. So, could you do me a favor? A favor? The boy tilted his head and the two women narrowed their gazes. I originally wanted you to join her peerage, but I guess I can forget that after that incident. So could you please help her train them if she asks you? Underworld. 7 years ago. Issei was inside Seraphil's room sleeping after training and another anime marathon. He rolled to his left so that he is now on his back. Feeling cold, he wakes up to see the mouse standing in front of him spreading her arms. He looked down to see several chess pieces put on his chest. Oh, Ice-chan, you woke up. Don't worry, I will finish this real quick, she said it cheerfully, giving him a wink. No, Sarah-san, what are you doing to me? Aren't this evil pieces? The girl was as carefree as ever. Yeah, I wanted you in my peerage. Seraphil's smile suddenly faded when she felt a wave of killing intent. She slowly turned around. Oh, Ophis-chan, WWYRYYUH here. Ameu, the only one who calls the Dragon-chan aside from Issei, had cold sweat all over her body. Issei always sleeps with me, so I came to sleep together. Ophis made an innocent statement with the most scary expression the other two ever saw. Issei gathered his courage and moved forward. All of the killing intent vanished as soon as Issei put his hand on top of her head. Demo to myself, always have Ice-chan around or I could die. Present. I don't mind helping her, but you said she doesn't know me, right? The redhead made a smile at the comment. You don't need to worry about that. I think that you have a great appeal to supernatural beings, especially female ones. Styx made a wry smile, while Ophis once again pulled him to her. Well, I don't want to disturb your time with the two of them. See you some other time, Ice-kun, he said and faded away. Since he is away now, let's play ice. The Greek handed him a controller to play the game off as was playing before. The dragon god took the controller out of her hand and put her hands around the boy. I will play with him. They started another cat fight rolling around on his bed. Please get along already. The complaints of the boy were unheard. Next day, Issei only slept for 3 hours since the other two wouldn't stop their fighting. He walked into his classroom and searched for a certain blackhead. Where is Amano-san? maybe she's late. But to be late on her second day. The boy sat down and let a tired sigh out when it suddenly got black. Who am I? A girl said it in a cheerful voice. Why are you so happy, Amano-san? Buick, call me Uma. And of course I'm happy, we're having a date at Sunday, remember? Yeah, I know. Issei tilted his head. Is that really a reason to be so happy? I will ask Sairasan what you do on a date later. Yuma wanted to say something, but the homeroom teacher entered the classroom. Okay, take your seats. He didn't pay attention since he already knew most of it. Having a Greek goddess of knowledge as a tutor is really an advantage. The bell rang and Yuma walked over to Issei, but someone was faster and called him before she had the chance to talk to him. Nice to meet you. Hi, do Issei-kun. I'm Kiba Yuto, and I was asked by Butcho to bring you to the club. A handsome young man with short blonde hair, gray eyes, and a mole under his left eye made a polite smile. Nobody wants you around, you annoying devil. Don't interrupt my time with Issei-kun. The fallen angel glared at him, but he completely ignored it. Yeah, it's nice to meet you. Do you want me to go now? Issei, having noticed that Kiba is a devil, was sure to answer the call. I think I saw the Gremory crest faintly when he reached out to shake my hand. So that means I will meet Rias Gremory-senpai. No. I just wanted to inform you that I'm going to get you after school. Is that all right? Yeah. I don't mind. The two boys smiled at each other and Kiba left. But Issei didn't get a moment for himself. Issei-kun, let's eat together. His girlfriend held a big bento in her hand and ran over to him. The boy looked confused about the size but decided to not point it out. She slammed the box down and unfolded the 3 smaller boxes onto the table. Now, Seiya. Uma moved a slice of pork near his mouth, as she can't be serious. Getting feed is really embarrassing. He remembered an incident 8 years ago when Ophis saw a couple feeding each other. She would mimic most of the activities from couples. Even now, she insists on feeding him sometimes. Come on, Seiya. The girl made a cute pout and shoved the food closer to his face. Issei could feel the glares from his classmates, envious ones from the girls and hateful ones from the males. Eat more, you need it, after school. I promised. Kiba met Issei after the last lesson ended to take him to the clubroom. He knocked onto the door twice. Butcho, I brought Hideout-kun, he said as he entered. Thank you, Yudo. Issei entered the room after him, but he could hear the sound of a shower. A shower in a cloakroom? And why would she use it now when she's the one who called me? She's definitely Suzuka-sama's little sister. A woman with black hair, tied in a ponytail, handed the woman in the shower a towel. Thank you, Yukina. Sorry to make you wait. Hi to Issei-kun. After 5 minutes of drying and dressing, Rias sat down onto the couch. I don't mind. So Gremory-senpai, why did you call me? She had an amused smile on her face. Issei-kun, do you believe in the existence of supernatural beings? Yeah, I do. He took a step back. I have a bad feeling about this. Pop, 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 pop. 4 pairs of wings popped out of the backs of the 4 devils. Then it's simple. I am Rias Gremory, a devil, and this is my peerage, my queen Himejima Akino. She pointed to the girl with the ponytail, who bowed in return. My rook, Tuja Kaneko. Kaneko is a petite girl around 15 years with white hair and hazel eyes. The front of her hair has 2 long bangs going past her shoulders and several loose bangs hanging over her forehead, while the back has a short bob cut. She also wears a black cat-shaped hair clip on both sides of her hair. She wears the Kwa Academy girls' school uniform without the shoulder cape. The rook gave him a nod and resumed eating snacks. She reminds me of Ophis-chan. I think we will get along. Rias resumed her monologue whenever he listened or not. And you already know my knight, Kibayudo. The 2 boys smiled at each other and gave a nod. And I would like you, Haida Issei-kun, to join us. The redhead reached her hand out to him. I feel honored, but I just can't say yes when you ask me out of the blue. Of course, you don't have to decide now. I just wanted you to know your possibilities. Okay. I will think about it. Now if you will excuse me. Issei made a polite bow and left the room. Akino made her way to her king with a cup of tea. Looks like it didn't go too well, Rias. She had her trademark smile. Sigh, I can't believe he rejected it immediately, but I won't give up. I want this boy. Erided looked like a small child thinking of a way to convince her parents to buy her a new toy. Kaneko, please follow him secretly. Find out everything about him and keep an eye on the fallen angel, too. She could try to make him join their side. Said Gorilla nodded and went off to tail her senpai with a stack of sweets in her arms. Hi-do residents. The Ouroboros dragon was in the kitchen snooping around the shelves to find some sweets. She was tiptoeing on a chair until she heard the front door. He was interrupted by a blackhead tackling him in the stomach. Ice, welcome home. The girl rubbed her cheeks on him. There is only one reason Ophis-chan would be so affectionate. He took the bag beside his school bag and gave it to the dragon. Here, I brought you new sweets. It was a ritual that Issei would bring cookies or donuts back home when she already ate everything. I love ice. Ice is the best. He was unsure about the statement because her expression didn't change and her attention was fully on the bag. Alright, let's go into my room and play a bit. The Ophis halted in her tracks and turned around. What's wrong, Ophis-chan? The last time you were so nice was when a Shinto sun hugged you for a whole weekend. She stared at him. I was invited to a date, so I won't be here Sunday. The dragon walked off with a pout. Please wait, Ophis-chan. Why are you angry? She turned around with a sullen face. I'm not angry. Ophis-chan. That night, the Ouroboros dragon god slept in her room for the first time in 7 years. Chapter 2. The appearance of the Fromer nun. Issei was in front of the fountain looking at his wrist watch. A young woman with black hair came running waving her hand. Issei-kun. She ran up to him and gave him a smile. Sorry to make you wait. No. I just arrived here a few minutes ago. She linked arms with him and walked off. We still have time before the movie, so do you want to go shopping? That's fine by me. Do you want to buy something specific, Yumu-san? The boy asked with a slight red face. She's close. Issei was used to girls getting close to him, but her face was too close. No, I just want to do a little bit window shopping, she hummed happily, until she thought back to last night. Abandoned church. 5 people were inside the building, talking about their plans from now on. A middle-aged looking man with short black hair and dark blue eyes. His attire consisted of a pale violet trench coat over a white dress shirt with a matching ascot, black pants and shoes, and a black fedora. Kakabile-sama said we have to extract the sacred gear of a From or nun, right? Why would he want it? He said he doesn't have an interest in them like Azazel-sama. A tall and buxom woman with long, navy blue hair that obscured her right eye and brown eyes looked at him in annoyance. Her attire consisted of a violet trench coat-like top with a wide collar, a matching mini-skirt, and black-heeled shoes. The trench coat top was open at her chest, giving view to her breasts and cleavage. She also wore a gold necklace around her neck. It doesn't matter, right? All we have to do is getting it. A little girl spoke up. She made a fool out of you. Serves you right, don't you, Seek? The girl had blonde hair styled into twin tails and wore a gothic Lolita attire which consisted of a black Lolita dress with white frills, a large black bow on the front, and a green jewel embedded on the collar, white thigh-high socks, and black shoes. She also wore a large black bow on top of her hair. PCH, be quiet, midget, the little girl shouted. It's middled, not midget. Cal Warner, Rainer, why did we bring the old man with us? Both women sighed in unison. Hi, it's never boring with you around. So, fallen bitch wanna do something good with me? A young man with short white hair and red eyes glanced at the fallen angel in the cool girl's uniform. Be silent, Freed. So, what is the name of this nun? The one who answered was Kaliner. Her name is Asia Argento. Present. Uma-san, are you feeling unwell? You look kind of gloomy. Issei asked her, showing his concern on his face. He's so sweet. Why is Fried on our side and not Issei-kun? Maybe I can convince him to join us. I can feel he is no normal human. She thought to herself, and showed him her best smile. It's nothing, let's enjoy our date. She squeezed his arm a bit stronger. They walked around the shopping district with Issei buying a few things for her. The thing she liked the most was a necklace of two black wings crossing each other. It was time for the movie and they made their way to the cinema. They watched a romantic comedy which had a length of 2 hours. With crepes in their hands, they walked third to park and sat down on a bench. I had a lot of fun today, Issei-kun. Yuma smiled at him. Can we go on a date again? She asked him with puppy dog eyes. Of course we can. I also had a lot of fun today. The girl blushed and stood up. She mumbled a quiet thank you, kissed him on the cheek and ran off. Issei touched his cheek absent-mindedly. Hi, do residents. The brow-haired boy walked into the kitchen. He found a plate with onigiri and a notice. Ophis-chan and I already ate. He took the plate and made his way to his room. Light shined out of the room. A little girl with black hair, gray eyes and pointed ears sat on his bed, playing video games. I'm back, Ophis-chan. She trotted to him and hugged him. She's so affectionate. So her bad mood improved. You don't smell like me. I don't like that. Ophis told him with a pout. Her mood didn't improve at all. Sorry. She hugged him even tighter. I read about it in a book. I will mark ice with my scent. Another strange idea. Where does she get them from anyway? Ice panicked a little. Oh, Ophis-chan, why don't we play a game? Okay. She was reluctant at first but let go. They played for hours with the dragon sitting on the lap of the boy. She didn't separate from him and even went into the bath with him. Next day, Issei didn't see the Ouroboros dragon when he woke up. He only found a piece of paper next to him. I'm in the underworld, Ophis. What could she be doing there? Issei ate his breakfast and walked to school. On his way to school, he noticed two presences. One was that of a fallen angel, but a different one from Yuma, and the other one is a familiar devil, Tuju Kaneko. Did Jermuri-senpai told her to follow me? I think I felt her presence on my date with Yuma-san too. Issei then entered the school building and his classroom, but he couldn't sense his girlfriend anywhere. Lunch break. The brown-haired boy sat on his seat eating his bento when suddenly the perverted duo popped up in front of him. Yo, hi dude. We will hold a gentleman's meeting today. Do you want to come? Glasses asked him. Gentleman's meeting. What is that? Before they could answer, two girls grabbed them by their collars and threw them out of the window. When I remember correctly, then these two are from the Kendo Club. The girls walked over to him and asked him with bright red faces, Did they infect you with their perversity, Hada-kun? One of the girls, Caddis, looked at him worried. You said something similar to last time, too? What do you mean with that? He's so pure. The two girls glanced at each other. Don't worry about it, but you can't get close to these things down there, okay, Hada-kun? Murayama pointed out of the window where the perverted duo was thrown out with a serious look on her face. You understood? After school, the girl around 15 to 16 years old with long blonde hair and green eyes was walking around the park aimlessly. Her hair flows all the way down to her back with split bangs over her forehead and a single strand sticking out from the top, sloping backwards. Her attire consists of a dark teal nun outfit with light blue accents, a white veil over her head with light blue accents, a brown satchel slung on her right hip, and brown boots with black straps in an X-shaped pattern. She also wears a silver cross necklace around her neck. The girl tried to take another step but tripped over nothing. Kiei. She made a cute sound, landing face first onto the ground with her butt high in the air. How did she manage to land like this? A boy around the same age halted in front of her and reached out to her. Are you alright? The blonde was extremely happy and grabbed his hand. Thank you very much. Finally someone I can talk with. Issei looked at her again. Someone she can talk with. Now that I take a closer look, she seems like a foreigner. Thanks God, I have the charm from Athena-sama. He touched a ring engraved with a lot of runes hanging around his neck. Let me help you with your luggage. The girl saw that her clothes were scattered around and panicked a little. Thank you very much. She even blushed a little. They put away her belongings and the girl bowed down. Again, thank you very much, My name is Asia Argento, please call me Asia. Pleased to meet you. I'm Haida Issei, just call me Ice. He didn't know why, but he was drawn to this girl. By the way, why are you here with a suitcase? Hey, I was appointed to the church in this town. A church? There is only one in this town. I can take you there if you want. Asia once again smiled and bowed down. Oh really, thank you, Ice-san. She's saying that a lot. Issei took her hand and walked off. Abandoned church. Rainer was sitting on a window ledge and looked outside. This nun sure is late. Issei-kun? Why is he here? The person next to him. It can't be the nun. The fallen angel panicked at the sight, but her face hardened when she heard the voice of a man behind her. So that's Asia Argento. Hey, isn't the brat next to her the boy Rainer is fooling around with? Two other women entered the room. He's quite cute. The first one was a little girl. I thought you liked carefree guys like Azazel-sama. The second one was a buxom woman. He is carefree in his own way. Wait, forget what I said. What is he doing here? Yuma shouted with a bright red face. Calm down, he probably just showed her the way. I thought she can't speak Japanese? Well, whatever. The man started talking to himself. Issei and Asia were still walking hand in hand. He heard about the story of the girl next to him. There was once a girl who was abandoned by her parents and found in front of a church. When she was older, it was discovered that she had the power to heal others, so she was brought to the church in the Vatican. She was praised as a holy maiden and everyone looked up to her. But the girl was lonely, nobody wanted to be close to her. After all, humans feared things they don't understand. Although she was lonely, she was still satisfied with it. She had the love of God and that was enough. But her life like that ended soon. She came across a wounded devil. Even though she knew she shouldn't do it, she still healed him. Unfortunately, a member of the church saw it. The girl was labeled a heretic and lost her only home. Asia had teary eyes while telling this story. Issei wanted to say something but was interrupted. We're here. Oh, you're right. He saw a rundown building in front of him. She's going to live there. And with fallen angels. If it's okay with you, would you like to come in and drink tea with me? Sorry, but I need to go home. Ice gave her an apologizing look. It would be bad if Ophis-chan's mood gets even worse. Is that so? She was really depressed. Don't worry, I can come to visit you. He patted her head. Thank you very much. Asia gave him another bow. Okay then. See you another time. Yes. Issei-san. Haida residence. The Ophis was sitting next to Issei, eating dinner. The two of them were both gluttons and ate 4 or 5 servings. Issei, how is your high school life? Mr. Highview asked his son. It's great, I have made a few friends and the lessons are easy to understand, he answered it while stuffing his face with food. Ophis pinched him in the side. My looks like Ophis-chan is jealous. His mother giggled at the sight of her 2 children. Now that I think about it, you said you want to go on vacation with Issei again, right? The woman asked the girl in the black Gothic Lolita dress. All she did in return was to nod. Sergix Lucifer used his devil powers to brainwash Issei's parents a bit. The new house and the absence of her son would otherwise be too suspicious. They went into Issei's room after finishing dinner. We will go away again. Where are we going this time? The couple was in their regular position where Ophis was on his lap. Heaven, the Ceres Michael and Gabriel want to meet you. Heaven? I always wanted to see an angel. Issei exclaimed happily, unconsciously pulling her closer. The Ouroboros dragon wanted to snuggle closer when suddenly the window opened. A certain Redid entered through it and looked shocked at the couple. Ice-kun, so you were this kind of person. Rias took a few steps back. What do you mean? Aren't you a Lilicon? The redhead asked, but Ice only tilted his head in return. What is a Lilicon? Don't teach Ice weird stuff. Ice, don't pay attention to what she's saying. Aren't you a little bit rude? Ria's eyebrow twitched in annoyance. Gremory-senpai, why are you here? Said girl who blushed a little. I was curious why I couldn't teleport in here. Issei-kun, why does your family have a mansion? A lot happened. Is that the only reason why you're here? Ice wanted her to go. She's this close to Ophis-chan, but she hasn't noticed what she is. Could it have something to do with her visit in the underworld this morning? Well, yeah? Then, leave already. The Ouroboros dragon was silent for long enough. She hated it when somebody interrupted her playtime with her childhood friend. I understand, I will leave. Issei-kun, please think about my offer, okay? She gave him a smile and jumped out of the window. Ice made a sigh and turned his attention back to the TV only to see that Ophis still had the game paused. Ophis-chan? What offer was she talking about? She was glaring at him. Hey, Gremory-senpai wanted me to join her peerage. There was killing intent omitted from her as soon as she heard the word peerage. Whoa, she's still angry about the incident with Sarah-san. Anyway, let's play. He said it and hugged her even tighter. For some reason, it would always calm her down. Now that I think about it, why did you decide to visit the underworld? I got a device from Azazel to suppress my power. She showed him a bracelet around her left wrist. So that's the reason why Gremory-senpai didn't discover your identity. Yeah. Ice, an enemy on the left. Got it. Next day, Paniko was again tailing, stalking her senpai on his way to school. She did it for a whole week and was surprised about the amount of contact with the supernatural. A nun, a fallen angel, and of course devils, all three fractions gathered around him. And she's quite fond of him because he always gives her sweets when he meets her. Issei always has sweets in his pockets because of Ophis. But every time she tries to start a conversation with him, the fallen angel interrupts them. Issei entered the school building and changed his shoes. She did the same and went to her own classroom. How long do I need to observe him? The white head wondered and sat down on her place. Good morning, Heide-kun. The two kendo girls greeted him as soon as he entered the classroom. Good morning, Kata-san, Murama-san. He looked around, only to see the perverted duo beat up in a corner. What did they do this time? Ase-kun. His girlfriend, Amano Yuma the fallen angel, walked up to him. Yuma-san, good morning. They chatted about a few things until their homeroom teacher entered. It was lunch break and Kibayuta once again came and visited Issei. The two boys get along and the girls squealed every time they were together. Yuma often sat with them and tried to hog her boyfriend to herself. Ice-kun, do you have plans for today? Yeah, I promised someone to meet up with her. Is it someone from this school? No, it's a nun. Her name is Asia Argento. The two boys talked while eating. Issei noticed that both of them flinched at the last sentence. Yuto at the mention that she is a nun and Yuma when she heard the name. So Yuma-san belonged to the fallen angels in the abandoned church. From her reaction I can guess that they are planning something. He thought to himself. But Kiba-kun, why did you ask? Uchu wanted me to bring you to the clubroom again. He gave him a wry smile. Is that so? I shivered a bit. She's strangely fixated on me. That was the bell. See you, Ice-kun. Kiba gave a polite bow. He is not hiding his dislike of Yuma-san. That's right, Yuma-san. What is it, Issei-kun? I had a lot of fun last Sunday. So I wanted to ask you if we could go on another date. The fallen angel blushed heavily. Since the incident at the abandoned church, I'm really conscious of him. Of course, how about Thursday? That sounds good. Park. The blonde girl sat on a bench, waiting for Issei. Sorry, did you wait long? The boy ran up to her. Don't worry about it. They wanted to go when the girl suddenly heard the cry of a little boy. She walked over to him and crouched down in front of him. A green light was emitted from her hands. Issei stood next to Asia when he spotted that the boy's leg was injured. The light shined on his knee and the wound started to close itself. These rings, could it be that they are a healing sacred gear? The injury vanished and the boy stopped crying. Now, everything is all right. Boys shouldn't cry so fast. Asia gave him a bright smile. Thank you, Weni-chan. The mother of the boy saw everything and dragged him off. Asia, that just now. It's a blessing I received from God. So it really was a sacred gear. But from her story it can even heal devils and probably fallen angels as well. So Asia, what do you want to do? I don't really know. Is that so? Then leave it to me. I'm an expert at having fun. Issei was pumped up. He grabbed her hand and ran to the shopping mall. Issei dragged her to all kind of places. The game arcade, where he won her a plush mouse. Various shops, doing window shopping. And now they're at a fast food restaurant, getting their hamburgers. The boy was stuffing his face with the food, but when he finished the half of the third, he noticed Asia only staring at hers. Asia, what's wrong? She looked up a little bit embarrassed. I don't know how to eat these. It looks like she was too focused on her hamburger, so she didn't see how he ate his. He giggled a bit. Okay, princess, allow me to teach you how to eat this dish. He took a new one and unwrapped the packaging and took a big bite. She tried to do the same, but got sauce on her cheek. Really now? He looked at her like an older brother or father and cleaned her face with a tissue. Thank you? Asia blushed a little. It's like a dream. What do you mean? I already told you about myself, right? Ice remembered the story she told him and got a bit sad. Yeah. My dream was to make many friends. Buying books together, going to buy flowers together and chatting with each other. It was that kind of dream. She was depressed, and he started to pat her head. I-san? I don't know about the flower thing, but you can do the other things with me. We are friends, right? He smiled at her, and her eyes started to tear up. Yes. Yes. They went to do the things Asia wanted to do and watched a movie. Issei walked her back to the church again. I had a lot of fun today. It was fun for me too. The nun had a red face and played with her fingers. If it's okay with you, can I ask you to meet me again sometimes? Of course, we are friends after all. He gave her the biggest smile he could offer, a thumb up. Ask me anytime. Asia's face lit up immediately, and she smiled back. Thank you very much, Ai-san. She ran into the church squeezing her stuffed animal. Now then, why would they gather this many exorcists here? That's definitely suspicious. Hide a residence. The office listened to Issei's story, enjoying the donuts he brought for her. Ice, you said you liked her the moment you saw her, right? She wasn't angry or jealous since her curiosity got the better of her. Yeah, I was strangely drawn to her. Ednan has an unbelievable high affinity for dragons. Even I started to like her. Both were surprised when they heard the voice from Missy's left arm. Greg, it's been a while since you last talked to us. Well, I don't want to disturb your time with Ophis. Anyway, Ophis, once you meet her you will understand what we mean. The Welsh dragon said it while Lisa's hand glowed green by each word. Munch munch, is that so? Do you have an idea what they could be planning, Drake? He glanced down on his hand. MMMMHHHH, they're probably after her sacred gear, but I don't have a clue what they could be trying. Is that so? What about you, Ophis-chan? Said Dragon God, only shook her head. So either of you has a clue. What to do, Drake? Ophis-chan, is that? Yeah, it's a barrier. It's not strong, but you should check it out anyway. A barrier in the middle of the town is suspicious. Bring back some sweets. Ophis wasn't worried at all, which made him wonder where the overprotective side of her was right now. Well, it's a very sloppy barrier, so it's no wonder. Issei left the house and started to run to the house. He used a few shortcuts through back streets and climbed the house to jump from roof to roof. It doesn't look like it was made out of demonic power. Could it be from one of the exorcists? He jumped down and landed in front of an ordinary house when he stretched out his hand. Sparks appeared between his hand and the air. This is the right one. Okay, let's go. He pulled his left arm back and it was engulfed in a red light. Boost. Chapter 3. The Wrath of a Dragon. House of the Gremry Client. Boost. A shout of the metal gauntlet pierced the silence of the night. A teenage boy with chocolate brown hair punched the air in front of him, shattering the invisible dome in front of him like glass. This barrier was pretty weak. Maybe the caster didn't have enough time. It felt strangely incomplete. You could be right, Drag. Ugh. The smell. Blood. Ice thought to himself as he entered the building. It was a normal house without anything special, well besides the barrier. He saw light at one of the rooms and entered it, trying to avoid the puddle of blood on the floor. After looking up, he felt his stomach asked him whenever he wanted to see his dinner again or not. If Ophis-chan hadn't taken me to fight stray devils, I might have really vomited. On the wall was a corpse that has been cut viciously with screws through the limbs, making it look like a cross that's upside down. That's seriously bad, to have a person in this town that can do something like that. Wait, that's… Issei walked to one of the tables and took a leaflet that was on it. Your wish will be granted. It doesn't look like it, but this symbol. Looks like Gremory-senpai doesn't have luck with exorcists. He made his way upstairs because he felt 3 presences there. He stopped in front of the door from where he can hear something. What's wrong, lowly devil-chan? Not so tough anymore? Then, can you finally step aside? I want to have a bit fun with a big-breasted girl over there before I slice her up good. A young man with short white hair and red eyes talked in a sing-sang voice with a crazed expression. He was dressed in clerical clothes and had a gun in one and a sword handle in the other hand. Opposite of him was a wounded Kaneko, and behind her was a cowering and shaking Murayama. Issei walked into the room without a care. Murayama-san. So this is your house. Oh, hi Kaneko-chan. The boy greeted the two of them, and waved his armored hand until he deflected a light enhanced bullet with it. Ho ho, not bad Devil-kun. Looks like you're stronger than lowly-chan over there. Did you come to help her? Oh, and did you see my masterpiece down there? The priest pointed with his finger to his crouch, but Issei thought he pointed to the room below. So, you're the one who did it, but you don't look smart enough to cast a barrier. So do you have a comrade? Boost. Explosion. Well, it doesn't matter. Also, I'm not a devil. Ice vanished in an instant, and delivered a strong uppercut. Since it was already his 3rd boost, there was no way for the priest to keep up with him. Especially so when he started Murayama's chest. He was knocked back through the door. Are you hurt anywhere, Murayama-san? Said girl looked at him with teary eyes. Hideout-kun, what's happening here? He came in and stormed at my father, and when I ran into my room he came after me. If Tuju-chan hadn't come to help, I don't even want to think about it. Ice walked over to her and rubbed her back while hugging her. Alright, everything is going to be okay from here on. So, Kaneko-chan, was her father your client for today? Yes, they made the barrier after I entered. Okay. Let's aye. The trio heard a scream from downstairs, so they're on down. They could see a blonde nun that looked horrified at the sight of the corpse. Asia. The blonde looked at the boy who called her. Eyes. San. Although she still looks ill, her expression got a lot better after spotting her only friend here. Are you the one who made the barrier? Asia only nodded. That's right, I forgot that you are still a newbie at this. Asia-chan looked closely, because that's our job. The priest from before made his way to them, rubbing his chin with the hand he held his gun previously. That Father Fried, why would we need to do that? Killing people is wrong. No, Asia-chan. That over there is no human. He relied on devils and gave in to his desires. He stopped being a human when he summoned them. Devils. Then Ai-san is. The girl looked over to the group with wide eyes. Yes, the boy and the little girl over there are devils. Issei sighed and Kaneko gained a tick mark when he said little girl. No way. Like I said, I'm not a devil. Ice was once again ignored because a red glowing circle appeared on the ground. Out of it walked the Gremory group. The boosted gear disappeared from his arm as soon as he spotted the circle. Paniko, are you alright? Rias Gremory walked in front of the group and looked at her rook. I'm fine. Senpai came before I could be injured. Although her clothes were ripped at a few places, her injuries were nothing more than a few bruises. Is that so? That's good, but since when did you start calling him by his first name? The little devil looked away and said nothing. Hello, shitty devils, could you please not ignore me? Fried was really annoyed at how he was treated like air. It would be the best if I take my leave now. Murayama-san, I think it's the best if you sleep over at my house. The human girl that was just seriously traumatized still managed to blush in this situation. She nodded and took Ice's hand in her own before slowly walking to the exit. The devils and Fried didn't notice it until they were already away. Hey to residence. A duo walked through the front gate. Heidekun, I never knew you were rich. The girl was nervous about sleeping over at a rich classmate's house and what his parents would be like. We're not rich. Why we have a mansion is a long story, but that's not important right now. Also, just call me Ice. He gave her his Prince Charming smile and opened the door for her. They walked in silence until they stood in front of his bedroom. The room to the left is empty, so you can use it. This room here is mine, so if you need something, just come through the left door inside the room. That door connects the two rooms. Murayama walked to her temporary room until she heard the door of Issei's room crash into the wall. A little girl with gray eyes and pointy ears walked up to Issei and snatched the white bag out of his hand. Welcome home. Ice-kun, who is this little girl? The boy was for the first time glad that someone from the schools saw his childhood friend. It made lying a lot easier. She is my childhood, Ophis-chan. This is her house. But since we have known each other since we were little and my parents didn't want her to live alone, we decided to move in. Is that so? She didn't look convinced, but let it go. The girl just wanted to go to sleep. Yes, that's how it is. Anyway, good night, Murayama-san. Issei walked into his room with the dragon following him, already eating the snacks. Why yeah, good night, Ice-kun. After closing the door, the duo made their way over to his king-size bed and sat down in the middle of it. Of course, Ophis was sitting on his lap. Ice, what happened? The owner of the house, the father of the girl by the way, was killed by a stray exorcist. He was killed because he summoned a devil of the Gremry household. I knocked the priest away and went away with the girl after the rest of the peerage arrived. The Red Dragon Emperor told her what happened while combing her hair. She's way older than me, so why can't she do things like that herself? At least I don't have to bath with her anymore. That would be too embarrassing. He took Ophis off his lap and went to the door. Well, that's it. I will go brush my teeth, so let's just go to sleep. Next day, Issei and Murayama are walking to school. The human was still confused how his parents weren't surprised when she suddenly came down to eat breakfast with them, and also why they cried when she said she was his classmate. What she doesn't know is that Issei always brings other girls with him. There was Ophis, Kuroka, Styx, Athena, Seraphal and Graphia. And since most of them look like mature women or little children, they started to question their raising methods. So they were really glad that he started to associate with his classmates. While Murayama was still pondering about the two adults, did they reach the school? Is that Heidekun? Why is he with the Kendo Club president? Don't you think she's too plain for him? Who does she think she is? Hogging the innocent boy, didn't her parents teach her to know her place? There were a lot of female students that looked at her with jealousy and scorn. She wanted to say something, but when they mentioned her parents, her retorts got stuck in her throat. Even if her knight in shining armor appeared and put his hands over her eyes, she still caught a glimpse of her father. Just the thought of it made her almost vomit. Murayama-san, if you don't feel well, you can go back. I will talk to the teacher. And no, I will be alright. The Sekiryota looked at the pale girl a few seconds in silence and sighed. Okay, but if I think you're not in the condition to go to school, I will send you back. Even if I have to drag you. Thank you. The duo walked to their classroom to listen to the lectures. After school, Issei was walking through the hallways alone. He said that he still had business in school, so she should go home, Issei's first. After leaving the new school building, he walked straight to the old one. Gremry-senpai wants to hear my answer. Well, after yesterday it's no wonder, but I really wanted to avoid that for a bit longer. He stood in front of a wooden door with a sign at the site that tried occult research club. Sign knock knock. After a bit there was a enter said from behind the door. As soon as he stepped into the room, he noticed that every member of the orc was there. I have a bad feeling about that. The redhead looked up and gave him a smile. Welcome, Ice-kun. Ice-kun? He shrugged it up and gave her a polite bow. Well, since you're here, I take it that you have an answer for my offer? Her smile widened after he gave her a nod. Since she was never rejected, she wouldn't even think about it. Well, I am honored that you would want me in your peerage, but I must decline. That threw the Gremry off. Why you'd decline? See, could you tell me why? Well, the biggest reason is that I don't want to. All the others fell face first onto the floor. And the other is that there isn't really a reason for me to join you. The high-class devil was silent after that. He's right. If what Kaneko is true, then he doesn't need our protection. And Akino said he lives in a mansion, so he doesn't need money. My only chance would be the peerage possibility, or that the fallen want revenge and kill him. She decided to not give up. Do you know that when you are promoted to high class that you get your own peerage? Yeah, but I have no interest to have one. I see. Is there no way to change your mind? Akino decided to add sentence of her own that would normally make every male agree. Issei-kun, don't you think it would be great to be around a beauty like Butcho all the time? Even Rias got her confidence back. She was one of Issama's and everyone wanted to be near her. There is no way he would say no now. I don't think that is a reason to join a peerage. Besides, if that's your argument, then shouldn't that become a part of Himejima-senpai's peerage since she is prettier? Absolute silence. Rias gained a thick mark and pounded her finger on the desk, and she was sure she heard her queen's typical of fufu without an N behind her. Not only did he reject me twice, he even said Akino was prettier than me. If that's all, then I will take my leave. Goodbye, Gremory-senpai, Himejima-senpai, and Yodo-san. See you tomorrow, Kaneko-chan. And with that disappeared he. Era. Akino with slight blush put a hand on her cheek. Looks like our cute Kohai likes me more than you, Rias. She knew her queen and best friend would call her by her forename only in two situations. The first was when the two of them are alone in private. The second one is when she is teasing her. The club president was crying 9 tears. I don't accept it. I won't give up and lose to Ikano. School gate. A young woman with black hair and violet eyes is standing in front of her school. She was clad in the standard girl's uniform. Yuma-san. She turned around and smiled at her boyfriend. Today is the day we extract Asia's sacred gear. It's annoying that we need to help Donasek, but why kill her? She is kind, so if we ask, she would gladly heal all of our comrades. I bet he wants to increase his own power to rise to high class. As if that dumbass could become one. Issei walked up to her and gave a smile of his own. Ah, he always looked so innocent. I want to hug him. The fallen angel behaved true to their reputation and had impure desires. So, you said you wanted to go on another date? The Sekiryotai asked with a clueless expression. I asked Amaterasu-sama about the boyfriend and date thing, but she only said she would kill that minx. Yeah, are you free right now? Yuma grabbed his hand with both of hers and gave him the puppy dog look. I'm free till they start the ritual, so why not enjoy it? Yep, where do you want to go first? How about we grab something to eat? I'm all for it. The humanoid dragon took off hand in hand with his girlfriend. The couple is inside the mall, more precisely in a family restaurant. A waitress brought their food and a special couple drink Yuma secretly ordered. It was a big green soft drink with cream on top of it. Out of it came a pink heart-shaped straw with 2 ends. Why, Yuma-san, your drink looks quite interesting. I think I will order just a coffee. What are you talking about? It's not my drink, it's our drink. Look, the straw has 2 ends. She gave him a smile that was a bit too sweet for his liking. We will share this. And in public. See, could it be that you are angry with me? No, I'm not mad. You didn't do something to make me mad, right? Like coming to school with another girl, taking a girl to your home when even I still wasn't there, or neglecting me before and after school. The fallen angel said everything with that sweet smile on her face. And you are always talking with the annoying devils. She gave him fat the thought of the nemesis of their race. So, you really are angry? What can I do to make it up to you? Rainer was really surprised. Since she's a fallen angel, she is open for a harem, and she wasn't really angry to begin with. But he looks so sincere. I might want to hug him all to myself. While pretending to think of a way how he can make it up, an idea popped up in her mind. Do you remember the end of our last date? Of course, it was the fountain in the park near my neighborhood, right? Yep. So this time you decide a location to end our date. Just to be sure, it must be a romantic one. And there was her sickening sweet smile again. I need to make sure I don't upset her again. I don't know why, but that smile is scaring me. They'll leave it to me. The date ended after a shopping tour ran a quick visit at the ice cream shop. The couple is now sitting at the beach holding hands. The beach, I admit that I didn't think of this one. You pass Ice-kun. The two start into the eyes of the other, while Yuma slowly brought her face closer. I look at that dump scene. Hey Rainer-chan, I came to get you. The ritual will start now. Fried? Why did they send him of all people? And that idiot called me by my true name. She looked over to her date, but was surprised because he was really calm, and she was even more shocked by his next words. So her true name is Rainer. I think it's a nice name, but his voice got really cold and threatening. What was that about a ritual? Both of them shivered at the question. Oh, Ice-kun doesn't know. We will extract the twilight healing from the nun. But don't worry about her, she will join you in the afterlife in a bit. Wait. What is the meaning of this Fried? I don't remember saying that Ice-kun is a threat. Well, Dondake said that we should clean up here since we will leave afterwards. He also gave the okay to kill you if you interface. Issei pulled something out of his pocket. It was a piece of paper. So, I will just say and kill you both together. But if I can have my fun with you, I wouldn't mind sparing you. He gave her a perverted grin. Never, you sick bastard. Fried pulled 2 pistols out and shoot the light-enhanced bullets without rest. Then I have no use of you. Because she was surprised by the second gun, she reacted to slow. All she could do now was closing her eyes and wait for the pain that never came. When the fallen angel opened her eyes again, she saw something shocking. A pale blue wall of energy blocked every single bullet. That's kind of boring. The Red Dragon Emperor looked at the priest while holding the handmade talisman that gave of the same light in front of him. What? What kind of magic is that? The exorcist demanded with a face twisted of anger. It's Shinto magic. And he took 2 other talismans out of his pants. This is the same kind of magic. They glowed red when he threw them at Fried. The 2 of them floated left and right next to Fried before exploding in flash. The explosion made the guns blow up so Fried couldn't use his hands even if he can stand up after this. You! Rainer-san, said girl jumped up a bit. Why yes. I will go to the church and interrupt the ritual. Will you stand in my way? When he turned around to face her, she couldn't help but compare his personality with Azazel's. Of course not. Issei gave a quick nod before he sprinted away. He is like a less perverted Azazel-sama. She was lost in her mind with a light blush. What are you blushing for, Rainer? A little blonde and a tall blue-haired fallen angel descend from the sky. Calawarner middle. What are you 2 doing here? We wanted to find you before Fried. I don't know where he is, but I don't care either. So let's go back. Calawarner grabbed Rainer's hand and helped her on her feet. I don't think we should return now. The 2 other girls gave her a questioning look. And why shouldn't we? True, we can't stand him as much as you, but the black head shook her head and pointed in the direction where the smoking body of the priest lies. I think we will die if we go now. Both Middleton and Calawarner looked shocked at the boy and then back to their comrade. I'm all for staying here. Me too. Abandoned church. Issei stood in front of the stairs leading to the secret basement. He had the boosted gear already equipped and was a few seconds before his 7th boost. After taking one last deep breath, dashed he down the stairs. Hey RRKKK, crash. He swiftly kicked the door down and looked through the room. In it were about 40 exorcists, and on top of another staircase was a male fallen angel. Who is there? The fallen shouted and turned away, but because of this could the boy see the former nun chained at a cross-shaped device. He walked to the altar without saying a word. You're Rainer's plaything, right? So she can't even deal with a mere human. Whatever, I will get rid of her after I become a high-class fallen angel with the power of the sacred. Shut up. Shiver shiver. Kill him. Dusik wasn't sure why, but that sentence filled him with fear. All of the priests stormed it to say. The first made an overhead slash with his lightsaber, but it was blocked by the gauntlet. He was knocked out by a quick punch to his chin. 2 others came from both sides and aimed at his neck and left knee. The Sekiryuta jumped to his right while lowering his upper body. With another red talisman thrown to the left and a yellow one to the right, he dealt with 12 exorcists. The next one tried it with 2 swords and backup from a priest with guns. Our dragon dodged every bullet and punched the one in front of him while he was in the middle of swinging into the gut. The priest got blasted into the gunner. Haikia, the loud scream of a young girl made everyone freeze. I slipped up in time to see a green light fly from Asia to Donasik. It's complete. Now, with the power to heal, I'm invincible. Boost. They ran through the mass of remaining exorcists up to the girl in time to catch her. Asia, wake up, Issei. He shook her shoulder until she finally opened her eyes a little, even if they looked hollow and lifeless. Ice. San. Yeah, it's me, Asia. He tried to give her a smile, but it took him all of his strength not to cry. I'm really lucky to have a friend like you, who would even cry for someone like me. Ice couldn't help but wonder about the girl in front of him. We spent the whole day together playing and talking, but she always looked so lonely. So why does she look genuine happy now? Said girl gave him a last weak but happy smile before her eyes were closed again. So what now, boy? Dunsik gave him a smug grin. That nun is dead and I have the healing power of twilight healing. What can you do now? The Red Dragon Emperor slowly turned around with his hair shadowing his eyes. Boost. I'll kill you. Outside the church, the fallen angel trio was quite a bit away from the church and looked at it with curiosity. It's awfully quiet there. I can't hear a thing. The tallest one, Calawarner, said it to the other two. Ice-kun. Rainer looked worried, and she would be lying if she said she wasn't. What could a fallen angel want from our Kohai? They turned around and now stood face to face with the Gremry peerage. In the front was Rias Gremry with the Kino a bit behind her. I will ask again, what business do you have with Ice-kun? First of all, I'm Ice-kun's girlfriend, so I have more business with him than you. Rainer gave her a victorious grin. And second, what do you want here? I heard that you're a group of ruses, so we came to deal with you. The two groups got into a fighting stance. Aquino made a barrier so the humans won't see what happens here. Then let's deal with them quickly. Rhea summoned an orb of destruction in her hand and pulled it back. Rumble, rumble, crash. The giant pillar made out of black flames erupted from below the church and rose to the sky. Out of it came a burning lump that flew in their direction. What's that? Although Kiba was the only one to say it, everyone thought the same. Black flames. It's probably Ice-kun. All of them looked at Rainer as if she grew a second head. Why would you think Ice-kun is responsible for this? Aquino was a bit frightened because she can feel the divine energy of the pillar, but she was mostly aroused from the power and killing intent in it. When Ice-kun really is the one behind this, then I definitely want him. A boy so cute and so dominating. Well, he used Shinto magic before, and I don't really know of another religion that uses black divine flames. The devils wanted to ask what she meant with before, but they got interrupted. Raya, the burning lump, now identified as the rest of Donasik, made a cry of agony. What is this? The flames won't die down, and my healing can't keep up with them. Everyone present walked closer until they saw someone come out of the church. It was the brown-haired boy with a dead Asia in his arms. He's really here and with that nun from yesterday. Just what happened down there, below the church. A few moments ago. I'll kill you. Onisi took a step back because he was surprised by the venom and the voice of the boy. Issei picked Asia up and held her like a princess. I'm sorry, this happened because I was too late. No, it was a mistake to not take you back with me yesterday. But don't worry, I will make sure that they won't be able to do something like that again, ever. Flames of Amaterasu. As soon as he spoke these words, erupted a circle of black flames out of thin air. The circle was wide enough for Issei to stand in the middle even with Asia in his arms. Hey, Amaterasu? But even if they are that powerful, these little flames won't do anything. The hysterical fallen angel shouted with sweat running down his forehead. And the reason for his panic was simple. Not only did he take out 15 of the 40 exorcists, no, the man also saw the left arm of the boy clearly for the first time and with it the sacred gear on it. Why, you're dead! Everyone kill him! Again, all of the priests came running at him, but he simply dodged every one of them. Boost! The gauntlet shouted, and Donasek got more nervous. He rushed at Issei with a blue light spear. While he came closer, Ice talked in an intimidating calmness. Do you know the two abilities of the boosted gear? The Fallen only raised an eyebrow. The first is to double the power of the owner. And the second one is the transferring of said power. He tried to back off after realizing what the boy meant, but it was too late. Boost. Transfer. The small ring of fire became a twister of flames that didn't stop growing in size. It expanded until it swallowed the whole church. Donasek was pulled into the storm of divine fire and got thrown away. Let's get you out of here, Asia. Outside the church, Ice walked to the group of fallen angel, incidentally ripping Asia's twilight healing out of the lump and putting the rings back onto her fingers. When he got closer, he noticed the group of devils was also present, and he got an idea. Gremory-senpai. Why, yes. Well, you can't blame her. She just saw a pillar of flames that had probably more destructive power than the Baylor magic. You're searching peerage members, right? Why, yes, that's right. Then how about her? Her sacred gear can heal almost every wound, even the damage from light. True, it sounded good, almost too good, but she really didn't want to anger her Kohai any further. So she settled for just one question. Why would you want me to reincarnate her? So she can have a happy life. That was all he said before I put her down in front of her and walked over to the group of fallen angel. You two are? Middled was the first to reply, although she was a stuttering mess. I'm Middled. 16 years old, single. He doesn't know why she saluted, while she doesn't know why she talked about her being single. My name is Kay Kalawiner. I'm 20 years old and also single. She gave him a wink at the last bit. So, Rainer-san. What should I do with them? Said girl got a bit pale. Hey, are you going to kill them? The other two girls also lost the color in their faces. If you say it's alright to let them live, then I will. The plan was Donasek's idea. They have a little problem to keep their hands by them, but they are good people. Please spare them. She wanted to bow down, and the others saw that, but before she even got the chance to move, he already answered. Okay. A really intelligent answer, but I will keep an eye on the three of you. By the way, do you have a place to stay? At the second bit did he turn around and looked at the church, ruins. After all three of them said a thank you, they looked at each other before Kalawiner stepped in front. No, but if you tell us where we can find a hotel, duh. Is that so? Then how about living with me? Again, that really intelligent answer. You don't want to? This time Rainer actually made an actual answer. We would love to. I take the room next to Ice-kun's. He nodded and put his hand, now without the boosted gear, under his chin. That's fine. There is still one room empty that is next to mine. Rainer turned to her fellow fallen angels and stuck her tongue out. The two of them looked at each other before they grinned and nodded. They raised their hands and said at the same time, we call dibs on Ice's bedroom. The black head had her mouth wide open and blinked a few times before her brains worked again. Wait, what? You can't. Let's go, Rainer-san. Issei walked with the blonde and blue-haired fallen angel away. Wait, Ice-kun, are you really letting these two into your room? Yeah, why? Rainer made the fish and switched between opening and closing her mouth repeatedly without making a sound. The quartet walked away unknowing what horrors awaited them. Issei, in form of Aegilius dragon god. Chapter 4. Drake the Stalker Dragon Emperor. Issei's room. Haida Issei, the Red Dragon Emperor, was one of the strongest beings in his age group. With the help of the Ouroboros dragon god and the training of gods, goddesses and mass, rose into a league of his own, for his age at least. But now, said boy of unbelievable strength was sweating bullets. He was really desperate to gain the forgiveness of a little girl that looked like 11 years old. The girl in front of him was none other than the Ouroboros dragon herself, one of the two strongest beings in existence, and staring down at the boy and the two fallen angels behind him, all in size of position by the way. Looking up, Issei was met with the strongest and coldest glare he ever saw on her face. Am I imagining things, or is she looking more angry than she was when Shalba attacked? As if reading his thoughts off his glare infested and she gave in a really slight nod. Did she read my mind? The lowly black head shifted her eyes from Issei to Middleton Calwarner. Why should they sleep in here? Both fallen angel needed all of their power to stay conscious, so it was Issei's job to answer. Because they are afraid the devils will come for them. Why? Does it sound like a question? Sorry. The reason? They said they would feel safe. The boy and girl talked without minding the fallen behind them. Is one of them your so-called girlfriend, Issei? That made the boy blink a few times in confusion. No, it's the one next doors. Ophis gave the two full in a last long and powerful glare before walking to the bed. Only tonight, Issei got up and hugged the dragon god who, as funny and strange as it sounds, made a cute Kia. Hey Ophis-chan, did you just know? But I'm sure I heard no. Ophis grabbed one of his arms, gave it a light squeeze and laid down on the bed. She embraced Issei, like every time she is in a bad mood, and turned to Calwarner and Middleton. No touching, said. Girls nodded their heads so fast it looked like they will fall off and walked to the bed hugging each other. When I saw that Issei is the securitate, I was shocked, but not only that, he even has Ouroboros living with him. Give me a break. Calwarner muttered before she and Middleton fell asleep with the same thought. Lowly Dragon Sama is scary. Occult Research Club. Next day, Issei was standing in front of the whole peerage of Rias Gremory. Everyone, with the exception of Asia, was wary and a little afraid of the person in front of them. They sometimes wondered why, since the boy in front of them would sometimes absent-mindedly look after a butterfly like a 3 years old. To his defense, when nobody in the room has enough courage to talk to you, it's easy to get distracted by things like a butterfly in front of a window. So Ice-kun, I guess that you have a sacred gear. After yesterday, it's pretty much obvious. Rias trailed off at the end of her sentence when she noticed Issei staring out of the window and completely ignoring her. She gained a thick mark and wanted to say something when her queen took a cup of tea and gave it to the boy. Here, Ice-kun. Thank you, Akino-senpai. Said girl, giggled and walked back to the side of her king. Yufufu, he didn't ignore me. That gave the redid a second thick mark. Ice-kun, since when did you call Akino by her first name? When the answer since before school today, her right eyebrow started to twitch. Her queen decided to explain it to her best friend. When I told Ice-kun that we want to discuss something after school, I told him that it's fine to call me Akino. So, Gremory-senpai, what did you want to discuss? The twitching got stronger after another yufufa from behind her. We wanted to go to the familiar forest to get Asia-chan a familiar, and we wondered if you want to come too. Well, I always wanted to see it, but is it alright for me to enter? I'm not a devil. It's alright. Since Una has to restore to damage at the church, we can go immediately. Then I will happily come with you. We will go to the forest tonight, since we need to make adjustments for the circle. With all said and done, Rias stood up and walked over to her new bishop. Asia, why don't you ask Ice-kun to help you hand out the leaflet? Said former nun, blushed and looked up to him with a secret weapon he learned to loathe, the puppy dog eyes. A certain black-haired Mao always used it at him for the past 10 years while she is still using it. And even after all this time, he still had no resistance against it whatsoever. Can you help me, Isan? Of course, he answered and nodded without a second thought. And my body moved on its own. I can't believe Saracen trained me in something like this. I feel like a pet. The boy moved over to the king of the peerage and took the box of leaflets from her. I will come back with Asia after we finished. Yes, that's fine. I think we will have the circle ready in about 2 hours. Rias gave a quick nod and sat down on her seat again. 2 hours later, Issei's Asia returned half-hour ago. There was nothing noteworthy that happened, well, besides Asia's unbelievable talent to trip over everything. Even air. They sat down on the couch and talked with the knight and rook about trivial things. Isan, Rias Butcho said that you fought against Dona Seek Sand and the exorcist all by yourself. Is that true? The innocent nun asked him while tilting her head to the side. Yes, since he was a low-level fallen, it was really easy. Really easy, he said. All devils with the exception of Asia thought that. The corner of the room shone in a bright red light before it dimmed to a light glow. All right, everyone, we are ready to depart, Rias said while she and Akino stood in front of the teleportation circle. The other occupants of the room made their way over to them. All of them stood in the center of the rotating magic formula with Asia and Aquino awfully close to the dragon. Once we arrive in the forest, the familiar master will come to greet and guide us. The Gremry heiress looked at her servants and Issei one after another, receiving a nod from everyone. The circle once again shone in a bright light that swallowed everyone in it. Familiar forest. The group appeared in the middle of a creepy-looking forest. The trees are black and look dead, the sky had the color of blood mixed with purple, and there was an almost transparent layer of fog in the air. So, this is the familiar forest. It doesn't look like a comfortable place to live, I said while Asia got behind him and grabbed his blazer. A red-haired devil wanted to say something but was interrupted by a voice from behind. My, looks like I got a few visitors here in my forest. I assume that you are the Gremry princess. The group turned around to see a woman around 20 with midnight black hair. She wore brown boots over her black stockings. A white shirt was under her open black long-sleeved blouse. She had one hand at her also black skirt, and the other pushed a single strand behind her ear. Yes, that's right. Are you the current familiar master? Riaz answered, doing the same gesture that the woman before them did. A glimmer of amusement danced in her pale green eyes when she noticed it, and gave an elegant light bow and a smile. That is not fully true. I am no more than an apprentice. I hope that I can help you tonight. How come an apprentice is the one guiding us? I thought only the master has the qualification for this. The king of the peerage asked the woman in front of her. Ah. Well, that is generally correct. This is a special case. Since tonight is the last test for me before I will become the new master of this forest. Is that so? Then I hope that you will pass this test. Thank you very much. This apprentice named Natasha Elsas will guide you to your ideal familiar tonight. She once again gave a quick bow before she walked closer to them. So what kind do you wish to acquire? Asia looked nervously up and blushed a little. I want a CQ one. Her voice lost on volume the longer she talked until it was nothing more than a whisper. A cute one, nothing comes to mind, so let's go look around for a bit. Natasha turned around and began to let the group. By the way, why is a human with you, Miss Gremry? He is a potential peerage candidate, so I took him with me. I think I already said no. Ice answered with a hint of annoyance in his voice. Even Saras, and wasn't this persistent? The devils walked further into the forest, ignoring Ice. How come every time I say something important, I will get ignored? So, potential peerage queen. What kind of familiar do you want? Like I said. Sigh, forget it. Do you have dragons here? He asked with a depressed aura around him. Well, there are sprite dragons here, but they almost never show themselves, so they are out. There are also a few low-level dragons here and there, but taming them is more trouble than they are worth. The only useful one would be Tiamat Dano, but she is one of the 5 dragon kings and hates devils. So, I would recommend you to look for something. Where did the boy go? Natasha turned around to convince him to look for something else when she noticed that he wasn't with the group anymore. The collective A proved that she wasn't the only one who was surprised by the disappearance of the dragon. Ice was walking around, following his nose for any draconic scents in the air. This one scent has water in it, that one smells like wood, and this one. I have never smelled a scent like this, but it has a strong feeling to it. He ran deeper into the forest, passing a few strange creatures on his way. It's here. In front of him was a big cave, easily 5 sizes the height of him. Is someone in here? No answer. Hello, Tiamat-sama. He said a bit louder. Again no answer. Tiamat-sama. This time he shouted, rumble, rumble, rumble. You're annoying. What do you want? Out of the cave came a massive aquamarine blue western dragon with deep ocean blue eyes. She looked down on him with a really annoyed stare. I heard a lot of you from a friend, so I really wanted to meet you. He gave her a toothy grin. Tiamat was not amused about it one bit. And why did it have to be now when I'm taking my nap? Since I'm not a devil, I had to come now. I don't know if I get another chance. I'm sorry if I woke you up. He gave her a quick bow. You are not a devil. Then what are you? There is no way for a normal human to come all the way here. I'm the current possessor of the boosted gear. So, you are telling me that you are the host of Drag? The Chaos Karma Dragon was furious. How dare that red prick sends his host after her? Yes, is there a problem with it? Ice tilted his head. That ticked the Dragon King even more of. What did he say about me? Nothing. Every time someone said your name, he would shout up and pretend to sleep. That good-for-nothing dragon. Dreg. You can hear me, right? Why are you so silent? No answer, Tiamat-sama. He is unfortunately really asleep this time. But why are you so angry? Did this idiot do something to you? Did something to me? That red prick had the gall to claim that I am his mate simply because I'm the strongest female dragon. So I'm worthy to become his mate. Not only that, but after I rejected him again and again, he started to stalk me. Just thinking about it makes my blood boil. Absolute silence. Sigh. Of course he would do something like that. Only an idiot of his caliber could be so stupid. Issei said it with a sigh. You're not taking his side. I thought you are partners. Although she was still furious, her curiosity got the better of her. Partners? Far from it. Not only did he ignore me for the first 15 years, he said he thought I would never unlock my sacred gear. And then he always makes the others angry at me. He also is asleep every time I would need him. While we might be on friendly terms, that good-for-nothing dragon is most definitely not my partner. After the Red Dragon Emperor was finished with his rant, Tiamat calmed down a bit. Yes, that's it. He is unbelievable. One time I woke up from my nap when I saw him behind a cliff watching me sleeping. That's nothing. One time when I was training with Zeus-sama and he bombarded me with his lightning, Drag fell asleep and deactivated my sacred gear because of that. The two of them talked about their experience with the Stalker Dragon Emperor while slowly going into the cave. 1 hour later. Gremry Group. Dust, where did Icecon go? We are looking for him since an hour ago, and we still don't have a single clue. Rias Gremry, high-class devil and heiress of one of the 72 pillars, was shouting around like a hysterical child. I think Ai-san really did go to see Tiamat-san. Asia timidly raised her hand. And no, not even Ice-kun would do something like that. Right. She looked around but only received hesitating looks from everyone present. Well, he was really interested in dragons, Natasha said. See, can you take us to where she is? Said familiar master-apprentice gave a silent nod and led them through the forest. Dmat's cave. Angela was talking about several things. At first it was about Dreg, then about the human world, and now they are talking about their adventures. Now that I think about it, Ice, from what I heard you are acquaintance with gods and the current Leviathan, right? But I don't think that I met one of them, so how come you said your friend told you about me? The Dragon King looked up to Issei, who was currently sitting on top of her head. No, it was another friend who told me about you. And who is that friend of yours? Tiamat raised an eyebrow. Sorry, I promised her that I won't say her name in front of people unless they are an ally. He gave her an apologetic smile. Is that so? Say, you said that you came here because a few devils are looking for familiars, right? Yes, that's right. Then how about I become your familiar? Tiamat asked him while lowering her head further. Ice understood what she meant and jumped off of her head. He looked at her with sparkling eyes. Really? Would you really become my familiar? After he got a nod, he thanked her with a tight hug around her snout. Did her scales just turn a bit pink? The Red Dragon Emperor thought while slowly releasing her from the hug. The Chaos Karma Dragon raised herself to her full height before a bright pale blue light engulfed her. Out of the light walked an attractive young woman around the age of 20. She had pale blue hair that fell down to her waist with a single white geranium above her left ear. The Ice looked at the beautiful woman in awe. She wore a one-piece white dress that ended just under her knees with a silver necklace around her neck, which had a sapphire in it, resting on top of her ample bust. The emerald glowed a bit and gave of a light in the same color as her beautiful deep blue eyes. Tiamat made her way to Ice, not making a sound with her bare feet that walked on the grass. Now that I think about it, this is the only place that has grass. The female dragon walked closer to him with an amused smile. She did see the awestruck look on his face, although she believes that it's more of a love-struck look. So, will you form a pact with me or will you continue to just stand there? The boy looked a bit embarrassed before he remembered something. I don't know how to form a pact since I didn't think I would get a familiar. Then why did you come to me? Tiamat raised an eyebrow. Because I wanted to talk to you. He averted his eyes and continued with a light blush. And I always liked dragons. She once again smiled at him and stood in front of him. All right, then do as I say. First, give me your hands. The boy put his hands in front of him where the woman grasped both with her own, intertwining their fingers. Her skin is so soft and smooth. Now say the exact words I say. I hide Issei. I hide Issei. Nearby claim the dragon. Nearby claim the dragon. Tiamat the Chaos Karma Dragon. Tiamat the Chaos Karma Dragon, as my familiar. As my familiar. From now on my path will be yours. From now on my path will be yours. As will be my will. As will be my will. Now stand by my side and accept me as your master. Now stand by my side and accept me as your master. As soon as he said the last verse of the chant, a magic circle appeared underneath them. The circle had a unique look. The lines were a dark gray, while the runes inside were a strong red. In the middle of the circle were two dragons, a red and a dark gray one, crisscrossing each other and biting each other's tails, forming an infinity symbol. The light engulfed both of them before it died down. Both of them blinked a few times before Tiamat let go of his hands. Just now your magic entered me, she said as she pulled on the collar of her dress so that you could see quite a bit of cleavage. Above her breasts, right under her collarbone, was a mark. It was the head of a red dragon with gray tribal tattoos inside of a ring of crimson flames. What is that, Tiamat-san? Well, calling your own familiar Sama would be awkward. She let go of her dress and cleared her throat. This is a dragon mark. It's a unique trait for dragons that shows which females are claimed by said dragon. Just when he was about to ask what exactly she meant by claimed, they heard the bushes behind them shaking. Ice, we finally found you. We're going before Tiamat comes back. Ice. Since when? No, don't think about it. He looked up to see the Gremry peerage with Natasha walking closer to him. Tiamat, aren't you a rude little one, Gremry? Tiamat looked at her with narrowed eyes. I think you aren't one to call me rude. Who are you? Natasha finished brushing the leaves off of her outfit and looked up to see a certain blue-haired woman. Ah, Tiamat Dano. It's good to see you again. Tiamat answered with a gentle smile. Natasha, it's been quite a while. Did you become a familiar master? No, today is my last test. Is that so? Then I think that you passed with an excellent result, she said with a bright smile. Why? The female's dragon smile turned into a mischievous one. Because your client got one of the 5 dragon kings as a familiar. Wyatt! The whole group besides Asia shouted. How? Why? What? Ria shouted almost every possible question that started with W while Lissy ignored her and walked over to Asia. And did you find it familiar? The former nun only shook her head. Now that I think of it, since it's getting late, another dragon type will awake soon. Natasha said her thoughts out aloud. What kind of dragon are they? The brown-haired dragon lover asked right away, resulting in Tiamat pinching his cheek. The Hydra. The apprentice told him with a straight face. Could you say that again? I said it's the Hydra. That resulted in the dragon-human hybrid to snap. How is something dangerous like a highly poisonous Hydra cute? Well, I don't think we will find cute ones this late, Natasha replied with shrugging her shoulders. I guess we will look for your familiar another time, Asia. Yes, Riaspucho. The group once again gathered in a magic circle before it spun to life and gave of a bright crimson light. Next day, Issei woke up at the of 2 fallen angels at the verge of tears. Issei-kun, why did you bring another dragon into your room? The taller one of the duo ran up to him and started to shake him like a rag doll. I went into your room to surprise you since lowly Dragon Sama is not here. Only to find the strongest of the Dragon Kings sitting next to your bed playing with your high. The violet-eyed blue head was sent flying by the other blue head in the room, smashing face first into a wall. Ignore what she said, Ice-kun. Tiamat-san, you came to visit? Yes, since you aren't a devil, you don't have a peerage to guard you, right? That's true. The boy tilted his head. So I decided to move out of my cave and live here with you. Really? Issei jumped up and grabbed her hands with both of his eyes sparkling. Of course. She pulled him into her chest, stroking his hair. By the way, who is this lowly dragon Sama that the fallen over there was talking about? Oh, right, I didn't tell you. She was talking about Ophis-chan. Issei-kun, could you say the name again? I think I misheard you. Tiamat, by now, was sweating. A lot, Ophis-chan. Why you see can't mean the Ouroboros dragon, right? I think everyone besides me and Sarasen are calling her Ouroboros. Why? There was but a single thought in Tiamat's mind. Thank goodness that I didn't attack him. The Cult Research Club. After school. The Red Dragon Emperor was standing in front of the door that leads to the club room. He came here straight after school ended, well, after seeing Miriam off, and is now standing in front of the door. Why he doesn't enter? Because when he reached out to the doorknob, he heard Rias loud, really loud, scream, "I will not marry you, Riser," and is now still in a daze, thanks to his enhanced hearing. Knock knock. Enter. The short reply came from the Gremry heiress. The dragon entered the room and was greeted with a tense atmosphere. On one side of the room was the Gremry peerage staring with pure hatred at the other side. The other side was a blonde self-proclaimed bad boy. Behind him was a group of 15 women all dressed in strange clothes, and at the end of the room, between the two groups stood a single silver-haired woman. Rias, who is this human? Don't look down on my cute kohai. The redhead raised her voice again and glared at the blonde man, Riser. Riser wanted to say something, but he was interrupted by a voice that was as cold as ice. Riser-sama, this gentleman is Haida Issei-kun. The maid turned to our dragon. Issei-kun, he is the third son of the Phoenix household, Riser Phoenix. While everybody wondered how the Queen of Surzix Lucifer knew a human boy, there was one more question that was on their mind. Why did she sound so nice when she talked to him? Ice directed his gaze at the blonde devil and thought for a moment, what's wrong, human? Can't even talk in my overwhelming presence. Now I remember why your name sounds so familiar. I heard of you from a few devils. Riser gave a smug grin at this. Nice to finally meet you in person. Birdbrain-kun. Chapter 5. I will show you my superiority. Occult Research Club. Silence. Absolute silence. Nothing else can describe the current situation. Well, if you ignore the failed attempts to hold in their laughter from the Gremry peerage, that is. Riser's left eyebrow twitched without a stop. Was it from Issei's remark, or the stifled laughter from Ria's peerage? Nobody knows. Why you insolent human? What did you say just now? Oh, so it was from Issei's remark. I called you birdbrain. Could it be that you don't know what that means? Ice asked him with his typical innocent look. Of course I know what that means. How dare you call me that? Riser's face was red and there was steam rising from his head. The Gremry peerage, which had finally calmed down, was once again in a laughing fit. That's strange, Sarasen told me to call him that. Why is he so angry? The boy talked to himself, but the devils could hear him. Everyone, besides Graphia, thought the same. Who is Sarasen? By the way, Graphia's thoughts were she's corrupting him more and more. Resisting the urge to face Palm, she is still on duty after all. So Issei-kun, why are here? I don't think you have a reason to be here. Rimori-senpai asked me to come here when I don't have plans so that we could get to know each other better. He answered Graphia's question and walked over to a certain black-haired beauty. Akino-senpai, is there still a bit of your tea left? Well, there is something left in the teapot, but it's already cooled down. She gave him an apologetic smile. I can brew new tea for you, Issei-kun. He looked around a bit, then turned around to face Akino again, and give her an amused smile. There is no need for it. I will take a cup of the cold tea. The devil wanted to say something, but saw his mischievous smile and poured the cold Darjeeling into a cup and gave it to her kohai. Ice took the cup and walked over to Riser, who was still fuming with rage. How dare they ignore me? Here, Issei said and placed the cup on top of Riser's head, which was still producing steam. He took it off after a few seconds and took a sip of the tea. Akino-senpai's tea is really the best. Riser was now shaking and balled his right fist. And again the Gremry peerage tried to stifle their laughter. Forget it, they are openly laughing now. You piece of trash. He lunged at Issei with his fist pulled back. He was silent for long enough. How dare that filthy human humiliated him like this? Even with the strongest queen here, there is no way he will let him walk away alive. Issei drank his tea without a worry in the world and made a side step. After Riser passed him and was about to turn around, he delivered a spin kick to the back of his head and shoved him face first into the couch. How dare you! Briza-sama. Oniai-sama. The purge of 15 women who were silent until now shouted and stormed at Issei. They circled him and were about to attack when enough. The powerful voice of Graphia Lucifuge resulted in everyone halting in their step. But Graphia-sama. Oni-sama was attacked by this human. A beautiful, young girl with dark blue eyes shouted and pointed her finger at Issei. She has long blonde hair tied into twin tails with large drill-like curls and blue ribbons keeping them in place. The front of her hair has several bangs hanging over her forehead with a V-shaped fringe hanging over the bridge of her nose. Her outfit consisted of a light purple dress with dark purple accents and a blue bow at the front. At the back, 3 feather-like extensions mimicking a bird's tail protrude from the dress, which gave her a bird-like appearance. No, the one who attacked was Riser-sama. Ice-kun merely defended himself. But the blonde wanted to say something, but was silenced by an icy glare from the silver-haired beauty. Now that I think about it, why is Bird-Brain Cunt over there here in the first place, Graphia-san? He started to sweat a bit after said maid shot him a look that said, what have I told you about this? Riser-sama is the fiancé of the next head of the Gremry household. In other words, he will marry Ria-sama. Didn't Gremry-senpai say that she won't marry him? The household made the decision, but Oju-sama refuses it. Issei tilted his head, and everybody could swear they saw a floating question mark above his head. Then, she should just not marry him. What? Everyone, again with the exception of the Lucifuge woman, shouted at once. It will take a bit until I can correct Seraphil's influence. How can you say something like that? The blonde girl, whose dress resembled a bird, asked with her eyebrow twitching. That's strange, a lot of people do that when he talks to them. Well, arranged marriages in the Devil Society are mostly used to strengthen the family, right? Of course, why do you ask? Then it's pointless for Bird-Brain-kun to marry her. He is weak after all. Ice-kun? What is it, Graphia? Ni-san. The Sekiryuta once again sweated when the maid shot him another glare. Milikus can't call her mother when she works, but I still have to call her Ni-san. If only Amaterasu-sama hadn't bragged. Not everyone has the same ridiculous potential as you. Issei wanted to say something but was interrupted by a loud shouting Riser. Oh, so he got back up again. Human, you dare to say that I'm weak? Well, at least weaker than me. So what? Do you plan on marrying my lovely Rias yourself? Riser shouted with an expression full of hate and disdain. I slowly turned around until he faced the red-haired heiress and looked her directly into her eyes. Issei-sen, said Devil blushed and looked at him. The boy gave her a perfect 90-degree bow and spoke without a bit of hesitation. Congratulations on your marriage, Gremry-senpai. May you find happiness with Bird-Brain-sen. He turned around and grabbed the doorknob when his collar was roughly pulled from behind him. After turning around again, he came face to face with a sweetly smiling Rias Gremry. Ice-kun, could you please explain me why you would back out now of all times? Are you saying that you don't even want to think about marrying me? Oh, looks like the infamous twitch of the eyebrow came back again. Her? Well, yes. Rias, once again, heard a loop of the usual offufu of her queen. Akino slowly walked up to Issei and hugged him from behind. Ne Issei-kun? Would you marry me? She leaned a bit more forward so that her mouth was right next to his ear. Maybe if we get to know each other better. The Phoenix heir stomped over to him and pointed his finger at him. That's it, human. You will face me in a battle. My pride won't allow me to let you run your mouth any further. Rayfione-san, do I have to? Yes, They had this plan from the very beginning, Issei thought, while imagining the annoying amused smile of a certain red-haired man. So, what exactly are 2 rules of the battle? Boy, human. What was with that pause just now? Are you that afraid of battling me? No, I just didn't want to call it beating up. The brown-haired teen answered. I will beat him to death if he looks at me with this innocent expression again. The rules are simple. Riser-sama and his peerage against you. The Griffias-san, you can't be serious. A puny little human against me and my adorable servants. That's hilarious. The 3rd son of the Phoenix family had a laughing fit, and his servants all had an amused or sadistic smile on their face. Well, all except one. Lucifer-sama and Grafia-sama should both be against the marriage, but due to their position, they can't do anything. For them to entrust the situation to this boy. The one who was concerned, the only smart person in his peerage, was none other than the only daughter of his family, Ravel Phoenix. Oh, Annie-sama, if you think calmly then, you're right, Ravel. Riser nodded with a small smile. The blonde wanted to sigh in relief but paled at the next words of her brother. How about this? You can bring one more person with you so that it won't be too humiliating. Well, I don't mind, but Ice looked over to the maid as if to ask her what he should do. There shouldn't be a problem with it since Riser-sama himself requested it. Okay. So it will be an unofficial rating game between you and your little helper and me and my 15 girls. The man of the Phoenix family exclaimed the rules cockily and turned around. I will grant you 10 days to train. Maybe you will be able to defeat Mira, my weakest piece. After he finished his monologue, a magic circle with the phoenix symbol appeared on the ground and swallowed the group. It's strangely silent today. The Red Dragon Emperor thought to himself and wanted to turn around to leave, when? Pinch squeeze. Oh, it hurts Grafia Nissen. Issei got his cheek pinched by Grafia. Said woman only dragged him to a teleportation circle in the middle of the room without looking at him. Why are you angry at me? He rubbed his now released cheek to soothe the pain. What did I say about blindly doing what Leviathan-sama says? It will turn me into an idiot. There was an awkward silence in the room. The older woman gave him a dry look and answered even more monotone than usual. No, I meant the other thing. Other thing. Other thing. Oh, never do it, right? He gave her a bright smile, which resulted in him getting both of his cheeks pinched. Then why are you doing it when you remember? Ice never knew Grafia could show such a sweet smile while on duty. Grafia, how do you know Ice-kun? The redhead asked. He often visited the Gremry Manor when he was in the underworld and I would keep him company then. Then when he mentioned Izira Sanat, yes, he meant the current Mao with the title of Leviathan, Seraphol Leviathan, who is also his fiancé. WWW, what do you mean FF fiancé? I'm terrible sorry Oju-sama, but we will have to excuse ourselves here. The maid bowed and teleported away with the boy. Underworld capital Lilith. Lucifer Castle. The two of them emerged in a hall that's so tall that you can't see the ceiling with human vision, but since both of them aren't humans, there is no problem. Grafioni-san, why are we in the underworld? You're going to visit heaven soon, right? We decided to go over everything again before you leave. Well, we also wanted to give you an opportunity to say your goodbye to Seraphol. But is Seraphol still avoiding me? Unfortunately so. Is that so? Issei looked sadly down at his feet. Grafia could swear that she just saw Issei being replaced with a little puppy that looked like it was kicked. And before she knew it, she had already pulled his head into her chest. It will be alright, just give her a little more time. Really? He pulled his head back and looked her into her eyes. Grafia softly stroked his head, subconsciously. Really? She noticed the movement of her hand and quickly stood up again. It's scary that it comes so natural to spoil him. I heard the others have the same problem. Anyway, did you already decide on who you want to take with you? To the raiding game? I guess I will take my familiar with me. Why? I just wanted to inform Lucifer-sama. I heard from Oju-sama that you got yourself a familiar. Could you tell me what kind you get? Remori-senpai hasn't told you. Then, it's a secret. He gave her his trademark innocent smile. Sigh. I understand, my headache would only get worse. Do you know when you will go to heaven? The maid asked him while massaging her temples. I think Ophis-chan said that we will go in 2 or 3 days. And we will stay there for a whole week. The boy was deep in thought with his index finger pressed at his lower lip. So you will be here for the game, that's reassuring. Is there anything else that you want to do in the underworld? No. Good. Then let's make our way to Lucifer-sama's office to go over everything again. Heaven. 3 days later. A 17-year-old high school student of average height with short brown hair and light brown eyes and a cute young girl with long black hair down to her hips and gray eyes appeared from a black and red dragon gate. The ears of the girl differ from a normal human's as they have pointed tips, although her long black hair makes this feature difficult to notice. These two are the Ouroboros dragon god, Ophis, and her first and only friend Issei, the red dragon emperor. So, where are we going to meet the two seraphs, Ophis-chan? They will come to us, so we'll just wait here, the blackhead said as she grabbed onto the hem of his dress shirt. The two of them walked around the streets of heaven. Heaven resembles a place sitting above the clouds with a bright white ceiling high overhead. It is guarded by a large gate and has a white stone path and stone buildings which appear to be floating. There was suddenly a bright golden and a bright white light in front of the duo. A handsome-looking man with long blonde hair and green eyes appeared out of the golden transportation circle. He has 12 wings growing from his back, and unlike other angels whose wings are white, his wings are colored gold. The man in front of them was Michael, the current leader of heaven. Out of the white light appeared an extremely beautiful woman with curly blonde hair and a voluptuous figure. Signifying her power as a seraph, she has 12 white wings growing from her back. She is Gabriel, the strongest and most beautiful woman of heaven. Both of them had a gentle and kind smile on their faces while softly gazing at the two dragons. So he is the current and strongest Sekiroite in history. He gives of the same kind of vibe like our fellow angels. You're right, Ani-sama. His very presence is one of innocence and happiness. The blonde woman said it with a bright smile while clapping her hands together. It should be said that this woman was the definition of pureness, so she can be quite airheaded at times. Gabriel-sama and Michael-sama, it's a pleasure to meet you. Issei gave a quick bow to hide his inner panic. 2 of the 4 leaders of heaven are in front of him. And not to mention both of them are actually behaving like one, unlike 2 certain mass. You don't need to be so nervous since we were the one to call you. Michael gave him another gentle smile while raising his hand. Ice visibly relaxed and looked up again. Then, could you tell me why you summoned me to heaven? My little sister said that she wanted to meet the boy her long time friend always talked about. Who is this friend of her office, who until now was silent? Asked in suspicion. It's Seraphiel Leviathan, Michael answered with an awkward smile on his face. What's wrong with you all? Gabriel asked the 3 other beings while tilting her head. It looks like everyone knows of the hatred Seraphiel Leviathan bears for the strongest woman in heaven, everyone besides the one who receives that hatred. The awkward silence was finally broke by Michael when he turned to the 2 dragons again. Anyway, we shouldn't stand here all day. Let's go to the 6th heaven. The leader of heaven said as he prepared a transportation circle to take them to the Zebul, the home of the 4 seraphs, at once. They arrived at what looked like a room of a queen, or it would have looked like that if not for the army of stuffed animals on the giant bed or anywhere in the room. I think I already know the answer, but is this Gabriel-sama's room? The boy asked, turning to the 2 angels. And the one who answered him is Gabriel with a bright smile. No, it's Ani-sama's. The dragon duo turned around to face the leader of heaven while he gave them an awkward smile. The stuffed animals belong to my sister. These are merely those that won't fit in her room. Is that so? Anyway, well, it was great meeting you. I still have my duties as the leader of heaven. Until we meet again, hide you Issei Dano, Ophis Dano. And after saying his farewell, Michael vanished in a golden light. The other seraph in the room started Issei with sparkling eyes. Now let us talk about all kind of things. Occult Research Club. 7 days later. The room was empty besides Issei, Tiamat and Graphia. Ice-kun, familiars with the human form are rare and powerful. Yes, I know. Then how come I can't feel anything from her? The Queen of Lucifer asked him, her eyebrow close to twitching. She is wearing Ophis-chan's spare suppressor bracelets. He shows her the 2 silver bracelets around Tiamat's wrists. Various runes were engraved on them, and a single black gem was embedded in the center. How come that the spares look better than the ones Ophis uses? Ophis-chan said, fancy things are useless, these are more comfortable. And tossed them to me, I said with a shrug of his shoulders. Sigh, well, then let us begin. Grafia stepped aside, and there where she stood just a moment ago was a gray-white magic circle. This circle will take you to the battlefield where you will battle Raiza-sama and his peerage. Do I need to know something about them? The duo asked Grafia perfectly at the same time. Not really, since you already know about the Phoenix regeneration power. But please try to hold back a bit. We don't want them to die. The maid said while giving him an icy stare. How much should I hold back? Balance breaker without a single boost. You didn't even thought about it for a second. Tiamat looked at her with a deadpan look on her face. You will see what I'm talking about when you see him fight. Raytheoni-san, you make me sound like I'm some kind of monster. The strongest red dragon emperor pouted like a little child. Sorry, Ice-kun, but when it comes to battle, then I can say without a doubt that you are a monster. What do you mean by that? The Chaos Karma Dragon asked with a dangerous glint in her eyes. You know about the reputation of my master, Surzex, as Lucifer? Yes. Why? He said that Ice-kun here has the same strength and growth as he did when he was his age. Is that so? The Dragon King's sweat dropped at this. I heard that the current Lucifer and Beelzebub are stronger than the original mass. For him to possess the same qualities as them, just what are you say? Well then, it's now 0 o'clock, so it's time for the battle to begin. The dragon duo nodded and closed their eyes in preparation for the transport to take place. Dimensional gap. Qua Academy replica. Issei and Tiamat appeared in an exact copy of the Occult Research Club room. The only difference from before was that Grafia was nowhere to be found. Welcome to the unofficial rating game between Riser Phoenix-sama and Hayadu Issei-sama. I am Grafia Lucifuge, Queen of Sursich's Lucifer-sama, and the referee for this game. Issei-sama's base is the old school building. Since Issei-sama doesn't have a peerage, it was deemed unnecessary for Riser-sama to own a base. For Riser-sama's pawns to use promotion, they have to reach the old school building. There will now be a 10-minute preparation time. Contact with the enemy is forbidden during this time. Both of them sat down on a couch and talked. Tiamat flirted, right away. Say, Tiamat. What is it, Ice-kun? Tiamat hummed. Why are you always playing with my hair? He asked the bluehead, who was pushing his head onto her shoulder with one hand and gently combing through his hair with the fingers of her other one. Do you dislike it? No, it's surprisingly calming. But isn't it alright then? No, like I said, I don't mind. I just wanted a reason why. Shouldn't we discuss our battle strategy now? Tiamat tilted her head innocently aside. She's dodging the question. I don't think that will be necessary. Just don't underestimate them too much, and we should win. How can you be so sure? Do you know something? Not much, but I was told that there is nothing special to talk about. So that means everything is obvious. The knights will be fast and use swords, the rooks will fight hand to hand, the pawns are weak without their promotion, and the strongest pieces will be the king and the queen. And what about those two? Do you know their trump cards? She raised an eyebrow while looking at him questionably. Yes and no. What do you mean? Well, they don't have one, so you're kidding me, right? Please say yes. The boy only shook his head. It's true, when I visited Heaven, Gabriel-sama, Ophis-chan and me watched a few of his old matches. He only relied on his regeneration, and his queen wasted her demonic energy, and then used Phoenix Tears to replenish it again just to throw it around again. That sounds like a really great letdown. Yeah. Sigh. The 10 minutes are over. The battle begins now. Well, let's go. I will go to the gym, so you go to the track field. Oh, and remember what Grafia and Neeson said? The duo stood up and Tiamat straightened her dress. Yes, I know. Don't kill them, right? Both walked over to the window and jumped out of it. Whoa. Hi. From above, they were greeted by 3 of Riser's servants. From the look of it, all 3 were simple pawns and weak ones at that. They resembled cosplayer more than devils, and their demonic energy was pathetic as well. Issei took a few talismans, and turned his back to them. Sorry, Tia, can I count on you? Of course, leave it to me. The Dragon King pumped her fist and smirked at the devils in front of her. That gave way to a frown and a twitching eyebrow pretty fast, though. What's this? I can't feel anything from her. She's too weak. And my sides hurt from what Ophis-chan told me. Tia is one of the most prideful dragons. I really hope she holds back enough. Issei thought while placing the talismans onto the ground, all around their base. In the blink of an eye, no, even faster than that, the blue head was behind the laughing devil. Cosplayer 1 grabbed her head with her left hand and smashed it hard enough into the ground to leave a crater with the radius of her height. The resulting shock waves sent the other two flying while an array of runes started to twirl around her right wrist. Oh, she's properly holding back. Riser-sama's first pawn retired. 1 circle, 2 circles, 3 circles. After the third circle of levitating runes was completed, Tiamat drew her fist back and appeared behind the second devil. She punched the air in front of her. At first nothing happened. Then the runes shone in a bright pale blue and burst out of air, and mana shot forth, engulfing both peerage members and pushing them further away. Riser saw my 2 pawns retired. After dealing with the nuisances, the Chaos Karma Dragon walked over to her master and looked over his shoulder. Are you done with the barrier? Said Dragon stood up and turned around to smile at her. Yeah, I also put up a trap. What kind of barrier did you use? 6-fold moon prison. Tsukiyomi-sama taught me how to use it, although it's a pretty sloppy version. Let me get this straight. You used a barrier of a god to protect a base we leave. Yeah, that's right. I think I now understand why that maid always has a headache around you. She gave a dry chuckle and shrugged her shoulders. Well, I will be on my way now. Let's meet up by whoever takes longer. Dimensional gap. Qua Academy replica. In front of the gym, the boy faced the large double door of the school gym with his arms crossed over his chest. If I only use Shinto techniques, they will probably say that the fight was unfair since I'm an exorcist. Maybe I should start using proper magic. He kneed down with one leg and placed his left hand onto the earth. After placing his right one on top of his left one, a giant red and dark gray magic circle appeared underneath the gym. The outlines of it had the color of smoke, while the symbols glowed in a crimson like raging fire. The center was filled with the emblem of 2 dragons, one obsidian-colored and the other one blood-red, crisscrossing each other and biting each other's tails, forming the infinite symbol. Zero Gladius. A giant blade of ice rose from the circle and easily ripped the building apart. The sword was a bit more than 2 times as tall as the building with a deadly sharp double-edged blade. If you weren't cut apart, then you were most likely frozen solid. This technique uses the same ice magic as Seraphil's Celsius cross trigger, so you need to be at least ultimate class to take that and still be able to battle. Brizer-sama 1 rook and 3 pawns retired. Brafia's cool voice was once again heard when the fighting results were announced. The enemies were now getting nervous. Not only were they faring better than they thought, they even had the power to use a spell of this caliber. The only ones that were still arrogant were Riser himself and his queen, Eubelina. Issei was now on his way to the track field when he heard another announcement. Riser-sama's 2 knights and 1 bishop retired, so all he has left is 1 rook and bishop, 2 pawns and his queen. Guess he will send his queen after me, and the other pieces should already be by Tia. Just when he thought that. Swish, boom, boom, boom. He was engulfed in 3 explosions that suddenly appeared around him. Take. A bust of woman with long, wavy purple hair that falls all the way down her back and matching eyes was flying a few meters behind him in the air with bat-like wings. At the front, the right side of her hair falls over her breast and covers her right eye, while the left side falls near the top of her skirt. Her attire is a dress consisting of a navy blue tunic top with gold accents, and a pale blue skirt with open sides and black shoes over matching thigh-high stockings with gardables. The top reveals much of her cleavage, and is held with a gold choker with blue and red jewels. Over this, she wears a white overcoat with black and gold accents and matching pauldrons. For accessories, she wears a black headband with a red-orange jewel over her forehead to keep her long hair in place, and wields a staff-like scepter in battle. For cosmetics, she wears purple lipstick, matching her eyes and hair. It's best to attack your prey when it accomplished something. They will always let their guard down. The purple-haired woman arrogantly taunted him, thinking she had already won. Now then, time to trash that woman on your side. The enemy queen suddenly gained a sadistic grin. But I must say, that woman is quite the beauty. Maybe we should toy around with her a bit. Brizosama said that there are a few additions to his harem that are necessary. Eubelina looked to the track field where Tiamat currently is. Since she's the companion of a pathetic human, we could forcefully take her to the underworld to show her our appreciation for this fight. The bomb queen chuckled a bit. I can't wait to see her face when Riser-sama trains her. The face of a suffering woman who slowly drowns in pleasure is absolute fantastic. It's great that one of Riser-sama's choices was forcefully trained, obedient sex slave, and now I've found the perfect material for it. Shut up. She finally noticed that the retirement announcement still wasn't heard. You somehow survived the attack, but to announce it so openly, you really are nothing more than a pathetic human. I said shut up, didn't you hear me? After the last bit of the smokescreen dispersed in the wind, Eubelina could see Issei clearly for the first time. From what she heard, he is an innocent and a little bit air-headed person, and was supposed to be a gentle boy. But the human the being in front of her is the complete opposite. He looks like a cruel dragon, ready to rip the trespasser that entered his territory into a million pieces. Since you attack me with a sneak attack like the coward that you are, I will also attack you whenever you're ready or not. Underworld. VIP viewing room. The room was occupied by 6 people, 3 males and 3 women. The men were the respective heads of the Phoenix and Gremry households and their wives. The last 2 in the room were Sirzex Lucifer and the second in command of his peerage Grefia Lucifuge. This is bad. What do you mean, Sirzekas? Venelana Gremry, Sirzekas' mother? Asked the Crimson Mao with a tilt of her head. You should be happy that Ice-kun helps Rias escaping her engagement, right? After all, you pamper her way too much. No, mother. What I meant to say was that this is bad for Riser. What do you mean by this? I only accepted this method to decide on the outcome of the engagement because you said it will make my son realize that our regeneration power is not absolute. I want him to be humble and not dead. Well, there's a risk of him dying now, and it's a great risk. The young redhead answered grimly. Sirzex, what do you mean by now? Why would it be greater than before? That's because Ice-kun is furious. He will be serious from now on. How can you be so sure? Besides, I've never seen Ice-kun being angry, not to mention furious. The mother of Rias and him looked back at the screen that shows the rating game. Do you remember when I told you that the old Mayo fraction will leave us alone for the time being? Of course, but what has that to do with everything? Then Lana leaned back in her chair and crossed her arms, pushing her breasts up. The reason was that 2 of their masts died in battle. The one who did that was Hideyusi. Nobody spoke. Everything was silent. W what? W who did die? Are you sure there were descendants of the old mass? The one who broke the silence was Zodicus Gremry. Yes, I'm sure. The ones who were killed are Shalva Beelzebub and Crusoe Asmodeus. Ice-kun was ambushed by them and was forced to fight back. While they were fighting, they revealed their plans for the Ouroboros dragon god, Ophis, and he was enraged by them. How can you be sure that it was him? He is just a 17-year-old human. Sirzekias and Grafia exchanged glances with each other before nodding. Sorry, Grafia. I know you don't want anyone to see it. Don't worry, Sirzekias-sama. Although I don't want it to be seen, I don't feel ashamed to have received it. The gray-haired woman turned around and pulled the zipper on her back down. The backside of her maid outfit slid down to her hips and revealed a long diagonal scar that ran from her right shoulder blade to just a few inches above her hip. Grafia, what happened to you? Lady Gremry immediately jumped to her feet and rushed over to the queen. She tried to stop the fight but got that scar in the process. Not only that, but she was also unable to send the 2 devils back alive. The present devils once again fell into a silence. Let's just hope for the best. Dimensional gap. Qua Academy replica. In front of the gym. Issei just stood there. He still didn't do anything. She prepared her explosion magic. Eubelina finished conjuring her magic circle when Riser-sama's 2 pawns and 1 rook retired. 1 bishop withdrew from battle. What? Ravel Sama gave up. Once she turned back to her opponent, the superior tipped the ground with his toes. In the next moment, the giant blade of ice shattered into a few thousand pieces. Whatever you are trying, it's too late now. Combustion. The boy just glanced at her with one eye shadowed by his hair. Haggle. Ching ching ching. Every single ice fragment span around to point at her, and shot at her with unbelievable speed. Her spell was able to melt the first few shards before they hit her defensive magic. The rain of projectiles stopped after 5 seconds, but the damage was devastating. While the ground was filled with craters and the trees and buildings were full of holes, the queen took the brunt of the strike and looked like it. Her clothes were ripped in various places, her hair was disheveled, she was covered in dust, and her body had numerous wounds on it with blood dripping out from them. Cough, what was that attack just now? How can a mere human have this much power? She complained about it while reaching between her breasts. To think I would have to use them this soon, but he should be exhausted after using something like that. Now is my chance. Just when she raised the little bottle to her lips. Boost. The mechanical voice of Drake was heard throughout the battlefield. He has a sacred gear. Eubulina looked over to him, and saw something that she would always remember from here on. There, before the unfolding destruction, was a single 17-year-old young man in a school uniform, one of his arms covered in a red metallic gauntlet with yellow spikes and green gems. Your specialty is combustion magic, right? And if I am? Then the greatest humiliation for you would be to be beaten by true combustion magic. He raised his gauntlet-cladded arm and pointed it at her. A bright red flame in the size of a fist ignited and flickered in front of his fingers. What do you mean true combustion magic? That small thing can't do anything to me now that I drunk the phoenix tears. Die. She shot her left hand in front of her and sent 3 unstable fire orbs at him. Boost. Issei punched the fire in front of him. Transfer. A giant wall of flames was all Eubulina was able to see, before it hit her and took her out of the game. Such strength. These flames are even hotter than his. Riser Samus Queen retired. Reset. The Red Dragon Emperor walked to the main entrance of the school building and found Tiamat there, waiting for him. Why are you here? When I looked over to the track field I couldn't find you. Well, I came to get you when I noticed you fighting against the Queen. Since I never saw you fighting, I decided to watch from here. But I never saw you like that. Just what did she say to make you that angry? Tiamat tilted her head when she asked him, resulting in a blush from him. That doesn't matter. He turned around to enter the building, but both of them jumped back when a big fireball landed in front of them. You filthy human. To think that I will have to fight you myself. The third son of the Phoenix family shouted from the top of his lungs. To think that they even failed to bring down a single human. Hey, are you forgetting me? Tiamat asked with a tick mark. Riser looked over to her and gained a sadistic grin and perverted look in his eyes. I would have taken care of you myself. Very carefully. Whoa, what a creep. The blue female dragon gave him an icy glare. Ice-kun, how about a game? A game? Yes. The first one to drop him loses. The bluehead smiled, but everybody, besides Riser, could see that it didn't reach her eyes. You dare to ignore me to talk to that thrash. I will show you that I'm superior. I can't wait to hear your cries. Alright, the game sounds fun, but what are we throwing around? Issei was back to his innocent and gentle self, thanks to the Chaos Karma Dragon. It will be him, of course. She vanished from sight for Riser, only to have her reappear behind him with pale blue energy swirling around her fist. He was punched with enough force to throw him over to the old school building. Welsh Dragon Balance Breaker. Issei was clad in a red, metallic armor that slightly resembled a dragon. He used the wings that are part mechanical and part organic to speed ahead and punch Riser into the gut when he neared the old building. He talked to Tiamat while the devil was flying. Shouldn't we just end the fight? No, we will take care of him, really carefully. It's official, the Dragon King is pissed. Underworld. VIP viewing room. I know that this is better than before, but I have the feeling that this will be more traumatic than the situation from before, Lord Phoenix said with a deadpan voice. I'm sorry. The Crimson Mao voiced his apology. Dimensional gap. Qua Academy replica. The duo was still tossing the devil around when he suddenly erupted into flames. The flames formed wings and he was able to stable himself mid-air. I've reached my limit. I will show you who's stronger. I will show you my strength. I will show you my superiority. Bryza raised hands above his head and gathered his demonic energy there. A giant orange fireball was created as a result, while the two only watched. Say, Ice-kun. What is it, Tia? How about we follow his example and finish this with our flames as well? The dragoness glanced over at the Security and gave him an amused smirk. Said humanoid dragon only nodded and started to inhale air. Tiamat also inhaled air in a deep breath. You will see my power, take this. He swung his hands to the sides, and the giant fireball split in two, and one flew to each of them. Both didn't move despite a fireball 7 times their height approaching them. They suddenly opened their closed eyes and exhaled. A bright azure and bright blood red and dark gray flame intercepted their representative fireball and devouring it, engulfing the third son of the Phoenix family. Arg! He shouted in agony while the flames were burning him. The Amat's flames were made out of chaotic fire, and thus prevented his regeneration to work properly. Issei's flames were strengthened by Ophis power that was absorbed through his skin on a daily basis, making them almost inextinguishable. Arg! Well, I guess it's obvious that we've won. The blue head flew over to her master, while he deactivated his balance breaker. Your fire is really destructive. Really? I think your fire is really beautiful. He gave her a bright toothy smile, while she blushed up a storm. Ice-kun, you aren't allowed to say that to any dragon besides me. Alright? I don't understand why, but if you say so. The two of them touched the ground when the game was over. Riser-sama retired. Haida Issei-sama has won. That's it, guys. Thanks for listening to my video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe and comment below your favorite part. Sayonara, see you in the next video.